You're in NCAA Division II, you're an independent trying to find games, but the men's team has never played Biola, and they meet for the first time tonight. Biola bringing a 6-7 record into the Burns Arena. 0-5 in the Pac-West, though. Dixie State is 6-6 overall, 3-2 in Pac-West play, and Dixie State will be looking to get rid of that bitter taste from the loss on Saturday to Point Loma. You never want to lose, but especially at home during conference play. And Coach Judkins, as we bring in Devin Dixon, my broadcast partner, Coach Judkins was just exasperated on Saturday night after that game. He said a little bit more even of the same on the show today.
Yeah, it wears on you. It wears on you because they've had 5 games. They've either had the lead or been tied or within a point in the last couple minutes this season, and they've just not been able to seal the deal. They've not been able to finish games. And Coach told us that's something we did repeatedly over and over. We did a bunch of 3-minute games, 2-minute games, 1-minute games. They really have been working on that practice. They even upped it the last couple of days getting ready for this meeting. And so that is going to be an emphasis. You know, Juddy's big on the 4-minute battles, but he knows the importance firsthand of how important it is to close games out. And with this talent and this roster and this bench and these stars like Trevor Hill and Brandon Simister, Kyler Nilsson, you got to imagine that's going to change because this team's too good to keep losing those close games.
Absolutely. Dixie State, again, 6-6 overall, 3-2 in the Pac-West, and that home loss hurts, but it's time to put that loss behind you as you host Biola, a team hungry for its first victory of the season, and a team that, as you can look at on paper, and just because they're winless in the Pac-West, a team hungry for its first victory, and a team that can surprise you. They've got scorers, they got guys that can shoot it, they've got talented players inside, and they've got a coach that has been around the block a time or two. Dr. Dave Holmquist, the head coach at Biola, has been coaching for 41 years now, 38 years at Biola.
He's got like over 900 wins.
953 wins to just 371 losses. Big-time success at the NAIA level, and not translating that quick into the NCAA Division II level, but they're not even eligible for postseason play this year, so this is just a year to feel it out, figure out the conference, see where you're at, but this is a very talented Biola team.
Yeah, and this is a good conference. The Pac, if fans have come familiar here in Southern Utah because we've been in this conference for some time, and it's going to be sad to leave it, but with Biola coming in, with Dixie State leaving, BYU, Hawaii already left, Cal Baptist is going Division I. You got to bring in some other teams, and Biola is one of those new teams. Concordia is now postseason eligible, joined the conference a couple years ago. Provisional status is now over, and they're going to get the Pac-West Conference, trimmed up to where they'll be able to do a home and a home. And that's kind of the way you like it. And that's what we'll see next year when we get into that GNET conference. You play the same team at home, the same team on the road. And that's the way a lot of coaches prefer it to be as well.
Take a look a little bit closer at Biola. I mentioned their 6-7 record, but let's look at some players and some key players that you're going to want to see tonight. It all starts with 6'4" junior guard Trevor Trinan, 15 points per game. He is a smooth jump shooter, Devin. He can spot up and hit from basically anywhere in the building. 15 points per game, rebounds a little bit as well. But it doesn't matter where he's at. Beyond the arc, inside, he will catch and shoot. Doesn't go inside much, but he will catch and shoot it. You got to be aware of where Trevor Trinan is at all times.
Yeah, and I was talking with Coach Judkins, a little snippet of our McMullen legal group, coach's comments, and he told me with the 6'6" frame, what he likes to do is he likes to post up a smaller guard. So if he gets a mismatch, watch for him to try to go down on the block and go a little one-on-one. It'll be interesting to see if Dixie can guard him one-on-one or if they're going to have to throw some doubles at him. 15 points a game, they sure want to slow him down. Very capable scorer.
Right behind him, 6'6" junior guard forward combo, more of the same, Levi Auble. 14.8 points per game, but he rebounds the heck out of the ball as well. 6.1 rebounds per game. Just an excellent all-around player, but he is great inside. He can create his own shot. He'll get inside. He'll dunk it on you if he can. So you got to be aware of where Levi Auble is as well. And then my X factor is not even a starter in this game tonight when you look at Biola. Isaiah Jones, 6'8", 240-pound freshman forward, averaging about 8 points per game, 6 and 7 rebounds per game, but he is strong. He's got a big frame. He crashes the board, takes advantage of second chances, and he dominates inside when he's in. Again, he doesn't start much, but he comes off that bench, kind of that sixth man, and if Dixie State can't handle him inside, it could be more of the same like we saw against Preston Beverly in Point Loma.
Yeah, he was just named the Pac-West Player of the Week last week. He had 23 points here on Saturday night, and that 2.74-72 loss that really made the new year a little bit stale for the Blazers. But you're right, this is a post-oriented team. So you know, you've got Montgomery, you've got Isaiah Clark, and now Julian Decree, who's finally really 100% healthy. And really, those minutes for the big men are up for grabs at the 5. At the 4, there's still a fight for minutes with Dub Price having some flashes of brilliance and Zach Hunter, who can get hot and hit that mid-range jumper. So there's a lot. Quincy Matthews has slid down and played the 4. He's trying to work himself back from a little minor injury and get more minutes. And Juddy went 11 deep last night, so I'm really interested tonight to see who can start really proving to Coach Judkins, because you know he's playing Trevor Hill, he's playing Brandon Simmons, Kyler Nilsson over 30 minutes a game. You can't keep doing that. He wants to get those guys a little bit of rest. So if they can get a lead tonight, it'll be really important for that bench to come in and show Coach Judkins that he can leave his stars on the bench and they can really keep a lead in the second half of a game. They got to have this one at home tonight, Carrick. This is a big one. Game 2 in a 4-game stand. You got Dominican coming up. You got that blackout game against Cal Baptist coming up on Monday night. So you got to take care of business. It's really one game at a time right now for the Blazers.
Dixie State, talk to him about, you know, offensively. We can talk about Biola and who they need to stop defensively, but Dixie State has got to have a big offensive output tonight, too. You look back to Saturday in the Point Loma when Kyler Nielsen had 21 points, Brandon Simister had 16 points, Wade Miller had 9 points off the bench, but after that, it was kind of a drop-off. You look at the 3 post players that you talked about. Julian Decree had 1 point off the bench. Isaiah Clark had 2 points and a starting role, and Austin Montgomery only had 1 point off the bench. So between those 3 players, you get 4 points of productivity. You've got to have more inside. I know it's an inside-out offense. You're looking for Kyler to take a shot, looking for Brandon to take a shot, but you've got to get someone going. Obviously, an X factor every game is Trevor Hill. He had a quiet game. They triple teamed him. They threw everything they had out of him. They've got to figure out a way to get Trevor into the game as well.
Well, and I expect Trevor to have a bounce-back game. It seems like there's been a couple games, you know, over the course of his career, and it's been an illustrious, great career. If you're not aware, he's number 2 in the all-time scoring list, and he's got a good chance to track down Zach Robbins maybe by the end of the season. So that's something that's a story inside the story. But he gets saddled with fouls, and he's less aggressive. He got 2 fouls on Saturday night. They seem to disrupt his rhythm. And he did really help out in the assist department, led the team with 7 assists. So it's not like he was invisible, but as far as scoring goes, I expect him to have a much better scoring performance tonight. I would not be surprised if he had over 20 points in this game this evening.
Those are some key players for you to look out for. Coach, or Devin, you had an opportunity to talk to Coach Judkins, view the assistants as well, as we both get those opportunities throughout the week. Let's go to some Camping World keys to the game from your conversation with the coaches. What are you naming as 2 or 3 keys to get the victory tonight?
Well, I think really the tempo is going to be a big key. You know, slowing down the guard line if they want to push, so transition defense, and then getting some push. You know, Juddy's wanted some games against certain teams to really push the tempo, and the fast break points just haven't been there. Now, you don't always have to have fast break points to really push the tempo and be effective, but I really think the tempo is going to be the number one thing. If Dixie State can dictate that tonight, they're going to have a great chance to win. I think defending the post is going to be huge, staying out of foul trouble. They had 19 turnovers the other night, too, Carrick. You've got to do a better job on your home court, taking care of the basketball. Point Loma, you had 19 turnovers, you lost by 2. You take away 2 or 3 of those, you probably win that game by 3 or 4. So obviously that's something I'll be watching for. See if they can keep it around 10, 12 turnovers tonight. I think it would be a vast improvement and probably find a win at the end of the night if they do so.
Those are your Camping World keys to the game inside the Intermountain Sports Medicine pregame show. We want to thank Intermountain Sports Medicine for their support of Dixie State Athletics. They support each athletic trainer here at Dixie State University. Tonight and all season long, we've got Kelby Hoffhines, the head athletic trainer here at Dixie State University. Let's step away. We'll take a quick 60-second timeout. When we come back, we'll have some Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineups for you, and we'll get the first half set up for you, and we will start playing basketball inside the Burns Arena. Dixie State and Biola set to go. Pac West basketball right here in the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
And welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Intermountain Sports Medicine pregame show in the books. It's now time for some Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineups before we tip this thing off. Head to the sky at the beautiful Sky Mountain Golf Course in Hurricane. Schedule a tee time. Call 435-635-7888. Again, Dixie State, Biola set to do battle in a Pac-West Conference clash. Carrick Segmiller, Devin Dixon with you courtside inside the Burns Arena. Time now for some Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineups. First for the Biola Eagles, 6 and 7 overall, 0-5 in the Pac-West. They start like this: a 6'7" freshman forward, Michael Bagatorian; a 6'4" junior guard, Trevor Trinan; 6'6" junior guard forward combo, Levi Abel; a 6'1", 180-pound senior guard, Blake Shannon Jr., and a 6'8", 245-pound junior forward, Alex Talma. Eagles, of course, led by head coach Dave Holmquist in his 41st season as a head coach, 38th as the bench boss at Biola. Over 950 career wins for Coach Holmquist. If he coaches a couple more seasons, he could break the 1,000 win mark. So we are in some legendary company tonight in Dave Holmquist and the head coach of Biola. The lights go out inside the Burns Arena. The intro video playing on the video board. Let's give you those starting lineups for the Trailblazers. 6 and 6 overall, 3 and 2 in the Pac-West. They start like this, the same five as usual: Brandon Simister, Kyler Nielsen, Trevor Hill, Zach Hunter, Isaiah Clark. Trailblazers, of course, led by head coach John Judkins, who is a legend in his own right, over 500 career wins, 13 seasons here at Dixie State, did 12 at Snow College before that. At Dixie State, 226 wins, 114 losses, and the Trailblazers look to bounce back from a tough loss against Point Loma on Saturday. Those are your Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineups. Devin, final thoughts before we tip this thing off.
Well, as you mentioned, Coach Judkins was the coach of Snow before coming here. I remember calling the game, the 2001-2002 season, when he was on the bench here, and Rod Prater whipped it past Kevin Woodbury and hit a Jaime Loretta for a trailing dunk, and that sent Dixie State to Hutchinson for the national championships, beating Coach Judkins. He said he went back and rewatched that video, and I was going crazy, and so he's glad to be here at Dixie State. And what a illustrious career. Mr. Five-Time, I like to call it. He was doing a little play-by-play today. He seemed loose. He was talking to us about what went wrong and what went right. He's still got a lot of confidence in his guys, and I expect him to have a good showing here tonight.
Dixie State and Biola set to do battle inside the Burns Arena. Look at the series history. Well, there is no series history because it's the first meeting between these two teams.
Right.
And Dixie State will return and play Biola the last weekend of the regular season in La Mirada, California. But they want to get this one here. They want to get back on the winning track. And really, the Pac-West Conference each and every year, the champion is a team that's lost between 2 and certain years, maybe 4 games at the most. And so you've got 2 conference losses already. You
maybe have one
more
to give. You're on the same thought process as me, because I think that champ's going to have probably 2, 3, 4 losses max. You got 2 right now, but they have played the more difficult front half schedule comparative to some other teams. So if they can get on a little winning streak, finish this 3-game homestand remaining off with some wins, then get out to that Northern Bay Area trip, they got a great chance to sweep those. We could be staring down the makings. But maybe if they get that Cal Baptist game's the key next Monday. But if they get that one, I wouldn't be surprised they go on a little 8-9 game winning streak, headed out to the Hawaiian Islands a little bit later at the end of January, first part of February.
And the key is you can't afford to lose any more at home. Dixie State in the home whites, blue numbers, red trim. Biola, the road blacks, red numbers, white trim. It's Clark and Talma jumping it for the two teams. Referee approaches center circle, makes the toss, and Dixie State will win it. Clark taps it back to Simister. And Dixie State maintains, moving right to left across your radio dial. As we see it, you hear it. If you're watching it, you see it backwards, moving left to right because of where the cameras are positioned. Nielsen will lob into Clark. Back to Zach Hunter, 15-footer left side, and he swishes it.
Nice unselfish dish back out by Clark. He started Saturday, but he didn't play a lot in the second half. He had a little growing thing, but he practiced well and got the start tonight, and that was a great assist by the big man.
2-0 Dixie State lead, 19:30 to play in the first. Biola, its first offensive set. Shannon bouncing inside, looking for Talma, working on Clark. Gets Clark off of his feet, but he recovers and blocks the shot. Ball saved in by Simister. Here comes Trevor Hill up the left side. Trevor to the three-point line. to the block. Hands off to Zach Hunter, off the window and in. Zach, a quick start after not playing much, as you said, on Saturday.
And already 2 assists. That one by Trevor Hill on the first 2 made field goal attempts. You got to love that. Hill got to the middle, then left it on the low block left side. And Hunter finishing through a block there. That was a nice finish by Zach Hunter. Back-to-back buckets to open up this game for the Blazers.
4-0 Dixie State lead, 18:55 to play here in the first. It'll be Shannon, baseline right side, path cut off. Passes back to Abel. Abel backing it on Simister. Kicks back out to Shannon for 3 right wing, and he is a shooter, and he buries it.
Yeah, about 10.4 points a game, 4.3 assists. He's the lead assist guy on the team as well for the Eagles, and nice 3 there to get him going on the road.
And an offensive foul away from the ball as the Trailblazers set up on offense, I believe a moving illegal screen against Isaiah Clark. A turnover gives it back to Biola. And with that, Austin Montgomery will check right in. Clark will come out limping just a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of a nagging, growing thing, man. Something down low there. Hopefully he's okay. Like I mentioned just earlier, he didn't play a lot even though he started on Saturday night. Let's hope that's nothing serious.
Trinan. Hands off to Shannon, and Biola will set things up. 18:15 to play in regulation. A 4-3 Dixie State lead. Talma gets inside, stripped out of his hands. Austin Montgomery was trailing that play a little bit. Now he's grabbing at his shoulder. Zach Hunter is going to be called for the foul, cutting off the pass of Talma on the way to the bucket. And Talma, just a 46% free throw shooter, makes his way to the stripe for a pair of free throws. First one on the way, and he hits it. Talma with 1 point, game tied at 4. With that free throw make, Talma 14 of 29 from the stripe on the season. And try for the pair, he leaves it short. Simister chases down the rebound for Dixie State. Trailblazers with it. Zach Hunter to the left side, and Kyler Nielsen. Nielsen holds left side, hand off to Trevor. Back to Kyler. Bouncing it to Zach. Baseline left side to Simister left wing. Pump fake, doesn't take the 3. Now he takes it, steps into it, and he makes it.
I love it because he about fired, but he was curling into that off the screen, and it's a tougher shot. So he squared up, triple threat position, and then let it fly. The defender, you can't leave him unattested. You can't give him an inch as Sims buries the team D3.
7-4, Dixie State lead, 17:35 to play in the first. Vagatorian to the near side, and Trinan. The Talma looking inside, nothing there. He'll put the ball on the floor, one-on-one with Montgomery, and he scores with a big right hand over the outstretched hands of Montgomery.
Nice move, nice touch by the big guy on the baby hook.
Trevor, the other way in transition, lays it up, can't get it to go, but he'll get free throws. The foul will go against Vagatorian.
I love how Trevor collects the ball, almost covers it up like a fullback running through the hole, and then unleashes it with touch. That one hung on the rim. A little English took it off to the left, but a chance to get it going from the free throw line.
Trevor with a couple of free throws, brought to you by Fabulous Freddy's. First one on the way, and no good, too strong. Fuel it up, wash it down, and save it at 2 Southern Utah Fabulous Freddy's locations.
Yeah, they got their unlimited car wash pass, just $25, plus every Tuesday, if you're a member of the Car Wash Club, you get the VIP inside and out absolutely free. So you can buy that basic, and then once a week you can have the entire car done. It's a great value. Go check it out.
Trevor uses every bit of the rim, but it falls through on the second attempt. Trailblazers lead by 1, 8-6. 17-14 to play. Full court pass down to Trinan. He scoops it up and lays it in.
Not good transition defense that time. And a nice little finish out above the rim, but softly off the window.
Zach Hunter was there, but just a split second too late. Couldn't quite get in position for the block. Game tied at 8, 17 minutes to go in the first. Trevor holding, and they're going to call it travel.
Yeah, too bad because Trev got bumped and they didn't call the foul. I think it was kind of made him slide his foot. I mean, I agree with the call, but the bump is what caused him to move. Let's take a look on a replay from CEC TV crew. He's going to give it up there, and Trev puts his hands up in questioning manner.
What do I do? 16:50 to play in the first. Shannon to Talma. Talma spinning to the left, and he'll lay it in with the left. Alex Talma only averaging 8 points per game, but he's got 5 already.
Montgomery's got to body him up, and he's given space. That allowed him to drop step, spin, and then finish with the left hand.
Simister left elbow jumper to answer, and he buries it. 5 points for Brandon Simister. Game tied at 10.
Those of you here on ESPN Radio looking for the Jazz will keep some score updates for you tonight. They're trailing by 1, 33-32 right now. Updates brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware.
Shannon for Biola. Holds top of the key. Will swing it to Abel. Abel, free throw line jumper, left it short. Offensive rebound, Bagatorian. Put back, no, rims out. Another offensive rebound for Biola. It's Tala, he brings it down. The Eagles will reset. Back to Bagatorian, baseline right side, spinning to the left, floating with the left, and he'll score.
Wow, he went from the corner baseline, 16, 17 feet out to the middle of the key, and no travel call there.
Trevor spinning to the right at the baseline, can't hit. Rebound Biola. Here come the Eagles. Pass ahead to Trinan. Biola leading it 12-10, 15:39 to play. Talma steps into a three straight away, and it falls. Short off the front iron, but it crawls over. He's got 8, and it's a 5-point Biola lead, 15-10.
That was a patient set. They had a 3-on-2 fast break opportunity. They pull it out. The trailer comes down. They pop it to him, and he makes the triple.
Trevor Hill holding left wing to Zach Hunter. Free throw line jumper. No, way off the right. Rebound for the Eagles. Blake Shannon bringing the ball up. He'll leave for Trinan. He steps into a three. He's a shooter. It's too strong. Montgomery will tip to Nielsen. Nielsen hands off to Simister. Simister, cross-court pass to Trevor. Touch pass into Kyler. No, but a whistle and a foul, and Kyler Nielsen will have free throws.
You get it to Sims in transition. Then, boom, he makes that cross-court skip pass to Hill. Hill then, just as good of a passer, gets it to Kyler Nelson, who takes the contact, and now we've got a timeout.
15:02 to play in the first. Dixie State trailing 15-10, but Kyler Nielsen going to the line for 2 Fabulous Freddy's free throws right after the 60-second timeout on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born, and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
There is a place where rocks bleed.
15:02 to play in the first. Dixie State trailing it 15-10, but Kyler Nielsen to the free throw line for a pair of Fabulous Freddy's free throws to try and cut in to the deficit.
Yeah, one thing that Coach Judkins was talking to me about earlier is we got to find ways to get more stops. You know, we got to get 3 stops in a row. You know, I mean, we give up a bucket, that's fine. Well, then go get 3 in a row more. And that timeout, that was a really focused timeout, talking about defensive effort right now. Obviously, Biola's been able to build a little bit of a lead, but nice job by Kyler Smith. Chip back into it and make both those free throws. He's really become a terrific player. Man, I remember watching him at Cedar High School, and originally he signed, I think, at SUU, and then came to Dixie State, and he's made this home, and he's fit in nicely to Coach Judkins' system.
Dixie State cuts the lead to 15-12. Wade Miller will check in for Kyler. In the meantime, Biola with possession. Bagatorian right wing looking to Isaiah Jones, freshman off the bench for Biola. We talked about him in the pregame. He's very athletic. Shannon gives to Abel. Abel, Bagatorian for 3, right wing. Way too much on it, off the backboard and knocked out of bounds. Dixie State will get the ball back. Julian Decree also checked into the timeout, and Dub Price for the Trailblazers.
And I'm really watching Julian Decree closely. I think he's got big-time potential as he gets more and more comfortable and kind of figures out what the coaches want from him. We saw him make a couple terrific plays on Saturday night. So he continues to play well. He can increase his minutes.
Simister, left wing. Skip to the right side, Wade Miller. Back to Brandon. 3-point land straight away. Now I back it up to the D logo, center of the floor. 12 to shoot. Crosses over to the right. Looking inside, nothing there. Skip to Wade Miller. 3-ball left wing. No, too strong. Dub Price can't get the rebound. Instead, it's Biola. Bagatorian bringing it down, handing off to Shannon. 13:59 to play in the first. 15-12, Biola lead. They bounce to Isaiah Jones, the freshman, baseline left side, gets into the lane, floats with the right, and scores. We talked about it in the pregame. He's got that ability to create his own shot, and he did it right there.
Yeah, back up to a 5-point lead again. Defensively, Blazers got to find some stops here in this first half.
Dub Price deep two. Left side, he buries it. If he takes one step back, that's a three-point shot, and we'll take the points either way.
Well, he's playing the 4 right now. Pretty good luxury to have, your 4 be able to knock down an 18-19 footer, catch and shoot. Nice rhythm for Dub Price.
17-14, Biola lead. 13-20 to play in the first. Abel to the right side and Trinan. Then they swing it back around the horn to Bagatorian. Now Abel again, left elbow jumper, yes.
Really good in rhythm catch and shoot there. Biola came to play tonight, Carrick.
Yes,
looking good early on here.
13:04 to play in the first. Semister steps into a 3 straight away. No, Dub Price can't get the rebound, and he just came down hard on his back. Wade Miller came down too. They're both not feeling great after that play. Abel will lay it up and in. They had a 5-on-3. He's got 4. As Coach Judkins looked to make some substitutions here, both Wade Miller and Dub Price trying to shake that fall off.
Yeah, they both were going for that same offensive rebound. They got tangled up by an old player there as well, and then they both hit the deck hard, like a WWE, body slam to the ground, and Bubba looked like maybe his leg got landed on.
Semister, deep 2 straight away. No, Isaiah Jones the rebound. 7-point Biola lead, and the Eagles with possession with 12:22 to play. Dixie State looking really out of rhythm through the first 8 minutes of this half. It'll be Shannon popping a 3 right wing. No. Bagatorian offensive rebound. Kicks to Jones. Back out to Trinan.
Oh, another offensive rebound. That time Dub was there, but he didn't get into him and box him completely out, and it was a deeper kick off the rim, and that allowed him to get the rebound.
Abel, 18 feet from the bucket right side. Working in on Trevor. Loses, regains, 12 to shoot. Skipping it to the left side and Trinan. Below 10 now to shoot, down to 7. Trinan bouncing to Jones, mid-post left side, loses, regains, floats with the right, dies on the back iron and falls off. Julian Decree the rebound. Pass quickly to Semister, he wants to push it, leaves for Dub, 1 dribble on the paint, off the window, no. Tried to kiss it off the window, it would not go. Isaiah Jones the rebound for Biola.
Almost the momentum, so Dub was trying to adjust with the momentum, and he softened it just a little too much and just didn't get high enough off the window to drop through.
11.
I thought he did a nice job with the body control, though, to put himself in a position not overrun that lay-in.
11-13 to play in the first. Biola with possession, 8 to shoot. Bagatorian into the right corner to Trinan. Down to 5 to shoot. Abel, right elbow, swinging inside. Jones, shot blocked by Julian Decree. Here come the Trailblazers.
Yeah, Decree right there, timing it nicely.
Wade Miller, Team Diato 3, rims out. Great look from the right wing, could not get it to stay down. Dixie State, 5 of 12 from the field so far. They trail it by 7, 21-14. This Biola squad does not look like a team that's winless so far in the Pac-West Conference.
They played some good teams. They played Cal Baptist, lost by 17. They played some of the other league leaders.
Abel with 5 to shoot. Baseline right side. Ball is knocked out of his hands. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Made a shot, but it was too little, too late. Great defense by the Trailblazers. That brings us to the under 12 media timeout.
Good thing they ran out of time because Abel still collected it, shot it, and buried it. Like as he was losing it, he was able to collect it as he already left his feet, but it will not count. Maybe a little bit of momentum break there for the Trailblazers.
10:24 to go in the first. Dixie State trailing 21-14. Let's make it just a 30-second timeout. We're already a little bit into the timeout. Don't want to miss any of the action. Make it a 30-second timeout. Come right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
10:24 to go in the first. It's Biola, 0-5 in the Pac-West Conference with a 21-14 lead. As Coach Judkins trying to rally the troops in the huddle, drawing something up to try and get some points on the board.
Yeah, and stars are out here at the Burns Arena. President Biff Williams is here. His normal seats. Athletic Director Jason Booth always here watching the guys. And then you got alumni and 15-year Major League Baseball player Brandon Lyon in the building. PGA Tour, now Champions Tour player Jadon Blake is in the building. They're ready for the Blazers to go on a little run here, Carrick.
Brandon Simister will set up the offense. Angling over to the right side, finding Quincy Matthews. Quincy is bumped hard by Talma.
And
Talma, frustrated with himself, just got caught out on the outside, picked up his second.
And I'm really close to watching Quincy. Earlier this season he was starting, and now he's kind of coming off the bench in a different role. And it's going to be interesting if he can play well, try to earn back some of his minutes after he got kind of nicked up a little bit, missed a couple of games right there pre-Christmas.
Auble will check back in for Alex Talma, who has 2 fouls. Daylor Youngblood also checked in for Dixie State. And Youngblood finds Simister. So on the floor for the Trailblazers, Matthews, Youngblood, Decree, Price, Simister. Q driving inside, and a great look to Julian Decree, who lays it up and in with the left hand.
Yeah, another helper there. Dixie State really sharing the basketball nicely. Another assist. And I think they've got, 6 assists already on the night? 5 assists now? Pretty good, unselfish play.
Biola will set it up. Tyus Dennis into the game for the Eagles. They'll lob inside looking for Jones. Tipped away. Dub Price comes down with it. Trailblazers with possession. Dub will slow it down. Find Brandon Simister. Dixie State will set it up. Pass over to Q. Inside to Dub. Stumbles. He was wide open, but stumbled. Back to Quincy. 15-footer right side. Too strong. Ball tipped around, and Biola the rebound. It's Shannon.
Wow, that had a chance to be an easy lay-in, but he lost his footing. That should have been a bucket. Nobody was guarding him down low, and he couldn't find the footing.
Shannon driving inside for Biola. Floats with a right. No. Ball is tipped around loose on the rebound. And they're going to say it's tipped out of bounds by Dixie State. Biola will maintain the possession, get a fresh 30. Zach Hunter back in, Kyler Nielsen back in for the Trailblazers. 9:09 to play here in the first half. Also on the floor is Biola making another substitution. Trevor Trinan will check in for Blake Shannon. Christian Carroll also checked in for the Eagles during the last timeout, and he will trigger baseline right side. Carroll looking, will bounce it, and he threw it right to Kyler Nielsen. Trying to get it to Tyus Dennis, couldn't get it to him. Pass ahead to Zach Hunter, the one-hand flush in transition. Dixie State back within 3, 21-18, timeout Biola.
And the timing, I thought maybe Daylor Youngblood gave that up a little bit too early, but Zach Hunter just went up and would not be denied off the left foot with the right hand from the right side, and just a nice cross-court pass that was perfectly timed by Youngblood. Another assist, and that one ended with a little throwdown with one hand.
Dixie State within 3 now, 21-18. It's just a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it right here. Remind you that timeouts are brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union. Mountain America excels at providing low loan rates, high earnings, free services, and with handy banking technology in 3 convenient locations here in St. George.
And they're opening another one here real soon over by Lynn's.
So
another one out there for everybody in Washington Fields area.
Yeah.
This town just continues to grow and grow, doesn't it? I moved here in 1999, and man, since then, a lot of people coming to Southern. What did I see about a month or 2 ago? 6th fastest growing city in the country again. Man, this December weather we had hopefully sticks around for January. It's been 60 degrees every day, and the rest of the country's freezing. It's just a great place to be, Southern Utah.
Back in play. Dixie State within 3, 21-18, 8:55 to go in the first. Tyus Dennis passing ahead to the near side. A trap comes. They can't quite get the steal, though. It bounces back to Dennis. He holds straight away for the Eagles.
Trailblazers got to improve in the defensive rebounding. Already 6 offensive rebounds for the Eagles in this game so far. They got to shore that up a little bit.
Trevor Trinan set things up for Biola. 5 to shoot. Crossing over to the right. Gets into the paint. Turnaround jumper on the way. No. Quincy Matthews the rebound.
And Dennis had to shoot that high, way over a would-be block from Decree. That's what he brings, a little presence in the paint.
Daylor Youngblood lobbing inside to Decree. Now Zach Hunter right back to Julian. 15 feet from the bucket, right side. Backs in, floats with the left. No. Rebound to Biola and Levi Auble. 8:10 to play here in the first. Approaching the under 8 media timeout. And a whistle and a foul away from the ball. I believe they're going to get Zach Hunter trying to chase down Levi Auble. Indeed it is.
Yeah, Auble, Hunter fighting for low block position. And every once in a while you don't mind that because you don't want to let them establish that low block position for an easy entry pass where it's a one-on-one. You can go to work in the low paint. That time a little bit of an excessive push, though, and Zach got caught.
His second, he'll have to check out. Dub Price into the game. 3-point shot for Trevor Trinan is too strong. Quincy Matthews the rebound. He's going to go coast to coast. Now kicks it back to Dub Price. And out of Daylor Youngblood, the Trailblazers reset. 20 to shoot. We are under 8, 7:50 to go until halftime. Lob into Quincy. One dribble at the block shot. Blocked from behind, but a foul is called. Quincy's going to get free throws after the under 8 media timeout.
I like Quincy grabbing that board, pushing. You know, he didn't get the shot initially, but then he went down the block and got a good high hand. You could tell he wanted the ball. You like to see that from Q, and then going to work against a bigger defender and getting the opportunity to get a couple from the free throw line when we come back.
7:47 to go. Dixie State trailing 21-18. 60-second timeout right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
(21-18), Biola leading it, 7:47 to play in the first. Quincy Matthews is going to go to the stripe for a pair of fabulous Freddy's free throws, where he is just a 45% free throw shooter this season, but hey, no better time than now. Try to improve those numbers a little bit.
And probably a little surprised. I mean, Biola's led 8 minutes and 17 seconds of this game. Dixie State's only had the lead for 2 minutes and 14 seconds, but you look up, they're within 3 and a chance to draw closer with Q at the line.
First free throw will rim out.
Look a little flat there. Just got to get a little bit more height on that shot after you saw Q go attack mode and get the foul from the backside. Try to get a split here and get this one to drop.
Second one rims out. Halfway down and pop back out. Rebounded Biola.
Just looked like a little flat as well. A little more height. I think he's got a good rhythm, a good shooting stroke.
Shannon will push the ball across the timeline for Biola. Hands off to Bagatorian. Bagatorian into the lane. Jumper off the window, and it splashes at home. 23-18, Biola leading.
Love the bank shot from that angle. That's the best way to get that to drop. Guys work on that tirelessly in the gym and in practice, and he pays off on game day on that possession at least.
Tyler Nielsen swinging around to Youngblood. Back to Isaiah Clark back into the game. Clark, double team, passes out of it to Daylor. Daylor, couple of dribbles, trying to go off the window. No. Kyler Nielsen putback won't go. Ball is loose. Isaiah Clark dives on it. Gives the Dub Price. They leave him open. He'll fire a three. Too strong. Quincy Matthews offensive rebound. The Trailblazers reset again.
Yeah, I like how Q's playing hard. He's got, and all the guys there. Slim getting out there and getting that possession. Second chance point opportunity here.
Dub Price trying to lob into Isaiah Clark, and Isaiah kind of pushed off his spot, and he throws it out of bounds.
Exactly. Isaiah Clark put his hand up and was wanting it high, so he throws it. Then he vacated there. If you're going to put your hand up and want the ball, you got to stay there. That's probably Clark's responsibility there on that turnover.
6:43 to go here in the first. The 23-18 Biola lead. Shannon guarded by Simister, number 10, guarding number 10 right now. He gets past Simister, drives in, and he's fouled. Couple of free throws coming for Blake Shannon.
And time for Trevor Hill in this sequence here. 6:31 to go, down by 5, to assert himself in the scoring department. Only 1 point so far in this game. We need to see Trevor trying to attack. If he can't get all the way to the rim, he's such a good distributor. I think he's got to be a little bit more assertive here in this stretch run to end the first half.
Shannon makes the first.
A little hesitation move by Shannon, and
it's foul.
Looked pretty good up top there, but
Clark kind of came in late, got him late with a body, turned his body to the sides. He picked up the foul, his second. Shannon will make both. He's got 5. 25-18 Biola lead. 6:28 to play in the first. Simister will set things up for the Trailblazers, swinging it to the left side, and Nielsen gets a screen from Price. Try to go pick and roll. Can't get it back to Dub. Instead to Q. Now right back around the horn of Brandon Simister, right wing. Simister to the free throw line.
Oh, yeah.
Dishes to Quincy, and he will take a step and throw it down. A monster jam with 2 hands.
Oh, beautiful dime. I love the teamwork in this first half. Even though they're trailing by 5, you get to the middle, and then boom, that pass in Quincy. I love the fact he did try to lay that and throw that down with 2 hands.
Shannon the other way for Biola. Kicking it back to Trinan. 25-20, Biola lead. Can they make it an 8-point lead? They can. Shannon knocks down a 3 from the left corner.
It's not enough consistency in the stop department for the Blazers defense right now. And Biola's shooting it pretty good. They're shooting 47% from the field right now, Carrick.
Trevor catches left block, back to Brandon, left wing. Right back into Trevor. One-on-one with Bagatorian. Dips the right shoulder, gets a shot. No, it won't go. Quincy, offensive rebound. The putback is good. He's got 4. 28-22. Biola leading by 6. 5:20 to play.
Had a couple big rebounds to go along with those 4 points as well. Nice job off the bench by Quincy Matthews, the local product out of Desert Hills High School. In fact, Brandon Simister, also a Desert Hills High School graduate a couple of years ago.
Bagatorian flipping it inside to Isaiah Jones. Jones double team, loses it, tipped out of bounds, and it's going to Dixie State. Love what Quincy Matthews has brought to this game right now.
Yeah, and you could see why he was starting earlier in the year, but then, like I said, got kind of a little nicked up, nothing serious, went to the bench, and now trying to work his way back up in the minutes department. And Juddy's seen he's come in and given him a spark, and he's been out there for a long stretch here. Played about 6 minutes already here without a break.
Blazers trailing by 6. Trevor whips a pass around inside to Dub Price, and he gets it to go off the window on the left side.
The old toilet bowl, and dropping through. Flush it down.
28-24. Biola lead is trimmed to 4. 4:35 to play. Trinan holding right wing. To the left is Shannon. Into the corner, Bagatorian. Back to Shannon. Skipping it inside, looking for Abel. Treble at the steal. We've got 3-on-1 here. Whipping it inside to Kyler, trying to get it to him, and it's tipped out of bounds. Trevor probably could have kept that another step or 2.
Yeah, look, he was trying to reach it back and then cross it. If he would have just accelerated, I think he would have been able to go up with the left hand, maybe finish with the speed of Trevor Hill. But, you know, you can't fault him there trying to get that cross-court skip, because sometimes if you give it up early enough, you can get it right back.
Trailblazers still have it. Trevor holding right wing out into the corner. Kyler Nielsen, screen coming, bouncing into Dub Price, and he threw it away. Trevor Trinan with it for Biola. 4:05 to play in the 28-24 Biola lead.
Only the 4th turnover of the first half with 4 minutes remaining, so they've done a better job not giving it up, but that was a mistake for certain.
Shannon holds, 3-point land straight away. Swings to Trinan. Drives with the left hand into the paint, floats with the right, and scores. A little bit too easy for Trevor Trinan on that play.
Yeah, only his 4th point of the night, but you know what? That was a pretty move and a nice finish about 6 feet out.
30-24, Biola leading it by 6. 3:35 to play. Dixie State setting it up on offense. Trevor whips it into Quincy. Quincy loses, regains, now brings it back to the right wing. And now to Trevor. D-Lo goes straight away, 10 to shoot.
And they're really sagging off on Trev.
Trevor drives, shoots with the right hand, too strong off the back iron, and Biola the rebound.
Maybe a little indecisive if you should go with the touch over the rim or go off the glass, and ended up getting it right off the back iron, kind of in no man's land there.
30-24, Biola leading it by 6. 3:05 to go, already a minute past the under 4 media timeout. Decree up off the bench, he'll check in next whistle, or after this timeout. Dixie State is steal, Quincy stealing an Isaiah Jones pass, but then it gets stolen right back. Trinan will steal it, and then go in and lay it up and in with the right hand. It looked like he almost traveled on the way to that layup.
Q stole it and then just went to the quick outlet, and right there you saw Trinan jump that pass. Q should have took another dribble.
Brandon Simister to answer. It's short. Bagatorian the rebound. 32-24. Biola game high lead at 8. 2:30 to play.
That's a good look though for Sims. That's at the elbow jumper. He's square. He just left it short.
Shannon harassed by Simister. Angling to the left. Double team. Kills the dribble. Passes out of it. Jones catches. Got a Bagatorian, 9 to shoot. Lobbing in to Abel. And it's tipped by Quincy, and Trevor will get the steal. Pass ahead to Kyler. Off the window. No, it rims out. It hung on the back of the rim. For a good 3 seconds, it rimmed out. It was tipped by Dove out of bounds. 2:02 to play, nearly 2 full minutes past the under 4 media timeout. Biola 32, Dixie State 24, 60-second timeout, right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where young and old make connections, where kids feel like grown-ups, and grown-ups feel like kids. There is a place where beauty arises in contrast, where wonder is universal, and laughter second nature. There is a place where friends find a future, families find each other, and feelings find their home. There is a place.
Dixie State shooting at 38% from the field, 10 of 26, 1 of 5 from the outside, 3 of 6 from the free throw line. But Dixie State 8 assists on 10 made baskets already, but trailing at 32-24 with 2:02 to go in the first.
Well, the rebounds are killing them right now, Carrick. I mean, 18-12, -6 in the department of the rebounding. Offensive rebounds for Biola, they had 5 of them already, so they've been able to get some second chance points, and it's paying off. The bench has come in and given the spark, outscoring Biola's bench 10-2, but Dixie State's got to dig it in and finish this final 2 minutes strong.
Shannon driving the length of the floor, and a pull-up free throw line jumper he buries. A 10-point lead for the Eagles.
Smart move. Don't get all the way into the traffic among the trees. Stop and pop and bury. A really smart play right there.
Doug Price looking into Dupree. Left-handed hook shot off the window, and it goes.
And I love how quickly he just went with the scorer's mentality and said, I'm going to go up strong. And that offhand, that left hand, kind of acrobatic, not squared up, almost a little bit of a hook in that shot, and got it to kiss off the window.
34-26, Dixie State trailing by 8, 1:20 to go until the break.
Good
They get a stop and another bucket here before the end of this half. Abel to the left corner and Trinan. He'll take a 3. Too strong up and over the top of the bucket. Falls right into the hands of Dupree. Outlet pass to Simister. Brandon, top of the key, gives to Trevor. Into the paint to the left, floats with a right and hits.
There you go, nice patient move. They cut you off left. Okay, Trevor stops, collects himself, and then that little floater in the middle. He's so good at that soft touch when he gets driving and then stopping. And I love that tweener shot for Trevor Hill.
Just 3 points for Trevor will not get him going. Shannon gets past Simister again, and this time passes to Isaiah Jones and scores. Simister having trouble staying with Blake Shannon.
Yeah, and then the rotation not there. They had to help and then couldn't get back. Nice and selfish play.
Trailblazers go inside to Dupree, and he'll shoot it and score it. Line drive shot, wanted a foul as well. Didn't get it, but he's got 6. Dixie State trailing 36-30 with 25 seconds to go in the first. Eagles will play for one here. Shot clock is off. Shannon looking back to Coach Holmquist. Gets the play, and with 11 and 10 seconds, and 9 and 8, they'll spring into action. Shannon to the three-point line. He'll step into a 3 straight away. In and out. Tipped around. Dupree has the rebound. No, it's taken away from him. And Bagatorian will lay it up and in at the horn.
Not the way you wanted it in the first set. They went one up, and really Shannon was going to stop and pop. There was no ball screen, nothing. They just could not secure that rebound, and that's going to be something Coach Judkins is talk about at the halftime break, is doing a better job boxing out on the defensive end.
Biola leading at 38-30. Dixie State will have a lot to talk about during this halftime break, trailing by 8. And they get things turned around and make some halftime adjustments. We'll find out. Let's take a full 3-minute timeout. We come back with the Info West halftime report. We'll break down the first half, get you set for second half action.
Retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. And I appreciated it very much, the attention that was given. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Mom,
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Fast-paced family life in need of a slowdown?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Did you know all those green shapes on maps are parks and forests? It's true. Visit discovertheforest.org and plan to visit a park or forest near you, instead of just wondering what it would have been like.
While the word forest might make you think of distant lands from far, far away, please note parks and forests are closer than you think, which means things like beautiful scenery, fresh air, and family time are also closer than you think.
There is a place where the sun doesn't hide in the winter, where the greens stay green and the crimson canyons still glow. There is a place where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where we drive for show, putt for dough, and settle the score with another round. There is a place.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to savethefood.com.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
To the InfoWest halftime report inside the Burns Arena. Internet people at InfoWest get high-speed internet, web design, tech support, and more. Check out Clean Internet and Speedburst at Infowest.com. Trailblazers trailing 38-30 at the half, and a couple of different times it looked like they were going to make little runs, chip away, and Biola was there to respond every single time, and they lead it by 8, a team that looks like they are hungry for their first conference win of the season.
Yeah, you got to give them some credit. I mean, a very veteran coaching staff with Coach Holmquist, and you know they came in and shot 53%, 16 of 30 from the field. They didn't jackknife a bunch of threes, 3 for 9, 33%. Dixie State, they shot a little bit less threes. You know, they were 7 for 10, I believe, on Saturday night in the first half. Tonight, just 1 for 5. So it looks like the game plan there was to try to go down inside, use some size, use their slashers there. When they did have some open looks at threes, though, they did not bury them. The other thing is, nobody got to the foul line. The good news on that is it was a free-flowing first half, not a ton of fouls calls, which some of the basketball fans out there can really appreciate. Yeah. But I know Juddy would like to get his guys to the foul line just a little bit more. They were only there 6 times, and they only shot 50% from the free throw line. I go back to the rebound. They got out-rebounded 19-13. So the Blazers really got to do a better job on the glass. They were 9 assists on 13 made baskets, which you really love. They only had 5 turnovers. They had 19 in that 2-point loss Saturday night, so they've really done a better job taking care of the basketball. This is not as good of a team as Point Loma, but tonight, right now, in the first half, they look like they are hungry, like you alluded to. That was a pretty good that's a better first half. I had not seen Biola before. This was their first matchup all time. They played some pretty good, disciplined, unselfish basketball. It was a pretty impressive first half. Yet you feel like Dixie State's the better team, and they can come out in the second half, maybe reassert themselves. They didn't shoot it great, Carrick. 44% for the Trailblazers from the field, only 20% from the three-point line, and again, 50% free throw shooting in the first half.
It's kind of the same thing. Dixie State has got to find some sort of a groove offensively. I haven't even heard Coach Judkins when they kind of passing the ball around and you know, giving up on some looks inside. I heard him turn to his assistant coach and say all they want to do is shoot it from outside. And Dixie State has got to look inside. Devin, you about got your head taken off by a Jamba Juice cup right there. That was close. But Dixie State has got to look inside, and Julian Decree has been that guy. He's got 6. I think he can be a big factor in the second half to open things up a little more for the guys outside. And Trevor Hill, he's got 3 points at the half. I know teams are keen on him, but they've got to draw up ways to get him involved in the offense, or it's going to be a rough second half as well.
Yeah, you look at Decree, only played 9 minutes, but 6 points, 2 rebounds, and a block in those 9 minutes. You look at your starter at the big 5 position, Isaiah Clark, 2 rebounds, 2 fouls, 1 assist, 1 block, only played 3 minutes. And then Austin Montgomery only played 3 minutes and didn't even get into the stat sheet, didn't have anything. So Decree, that job is there for the taking. Yeah. It looks like Julian Decree really wants it. We saw flashes of it Saturday night. He's finally healthy. He's an exciting player. He's got some really good offensive moves in the low block, which the fans may be seeing for the first time if you haven't been out to a Dixie State game. But that left-hand shot he made was a beautiful finish, then went to the right hand the next time. He's got the full arsenal down in the paint, but Trevor Hill just 1 of 4. Trevor looks passive tonight again, and I thought maybe it was just the foul trouble the last outing, but he's got to assert himself and be a lot more aggressive, in my opinion. And when I mean aggressive, it doesn't have to score it all the time, but when he gets to the middle of the floor, he can either score it or distribute it. Good things seem to happen, and that's the nice thing. You really have almost 2 point guards on the floor almost all the time with him and Brandon Simister. I think the shots were there, Carrick. I just don't think they fell as much as Juddy would like, but I think the defense at home, to give up 38 first half points, I think the emphasis in the halftime talk is going to be on that end of the floor. I mean, Biola, they've got to get him off the glass right now. -6 in the rebounding department.
Yeah, 19-13 overall, and 6-4 on the offensive glass. You mentioned Dixie State defensively. They've got to ramp up that effort, and the effort's there. And you're seeing the shot clock consistently down under 5, and 6 offensive rebounds for Biola, and just 4 second chance points off of those 6 offensive rebounds. But you're giving extra possessions to a very good Biola offense. You can't afford to do that any longer. We have some quick first half highlights. Let's take a look at those for your TV and internet viewers. Radio listeners, we'll describe them to you. It was Zach Hunter. He owned this thing early on, made that jumper. He would get a layup. You're going to see that here. Great look from Trevor Hill. Zach Hunter off the window had 4 quick points.
Yeah, 6 in the half, and he was the early offense. There's no question. I love the patience by Sims. Ball fake and then catch and shoot the 3. He's such a patient player now as a senior on this team. Only had 5 first half points, but then you saw Biola get to the middle, nice little jumper, and then the guy off the bench with the baby hook, that's the guy, Isaiah Jones, that you were talking about, that does a little bit of everything. There's your stretch forward. Dub Price, though, answering from outside. And next time, maybe a ball fake and drive in. The unselfish play. I thought Quincy Matthews came in and did a really nice job. There's one of those 9 assists, that one from Q. And then this was a nice give by Youngblood, and Zach Hunter throws it down with one hand.
Zach Hunter, the one-hand jam, and then Quincy gets a 2-hand flush as well. Quincy Matthews came in and played some big minutes, some assists, some rebounds, some points. You see Julian Decree, another shot off the window with the left hand. And then Trevor getting a floater to go with the right hand, just 3 points. Hope to see him get going as well. But you look at the stat sheet, and just want to talk about Quincy Matthews. 4 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, and 3 steals in 8 minutes of play for Quincy. Maybe there's some minutes to be earned for Quincy as well, and he's got something to prove. Quincy and Julian Decree down low could be big difference makers and already are in this game.
Really, the only mistake Quincy Matthews made in that first half was he missed the free throws, and then he got a great rebound and then outletted it and didn't see the thievery come. Other than that, he played a flawless first half. I thought he played the ball really well. You could see the intensity was high, and it looks like whatever nicks and bruises and bumps he had, they're long behind him, which is good news for the Dixie State Trailblazer bench.
Let's step away, take a 60-second timeout. When we come back, the InfoWest Halftime Report marches on. We'll take a look at the Hearst-Ace Hardware RMAC and not RMAC, Pac West Conference for the basketball game. It'll be RMAC next year, though.
Yes,
it'll be pretty consistent across the board. Pac West score and updates, a lot of games on the slate tonight, and also we'll get you updated on that Utah Jazz game as well that is running concurrently with our game tonight. Let's take a 60-second timeout. Come right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Beethoven's favorite fruit. Banana.
$150/90.
180 over 111.
160/110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Carrick Segmiller, Devin Dixon sitting courtside inside the Burns. This is the InfoWest halftime report. We've already had the Findlay Subaru halftime stats for you. Now time for some Pac West updates. Brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware, hardware store, and so much more with a variety of products with prices that please. On the corner of the Boulevard in Bluff in St. George and on Main Street in Cedar City. And all I can really do is update you on the schedule tonight, Devin, is that we're an hour ahead. All the other games either in Hawaii or in the Pacific time zone, and so just about set to tip off, but no other game has tipped off yet tonight. You do have holy names at Chaminade, Academy of Art at Hawaii Pacific, and then California Baptist hosting Dominican. Concordia is at Point Loma tonight in what could prove to be a pivotal matchup in the Pac West Conference. Concordia is eligible for the postseason play this year. Fresno Pacific is at Azusa Pacific, and Notre Dame Namur is at Hawaii Hilo. What else we got going around the state?
One good top 25 game on the road, North Carolina Falls. Florida State, their 28th consecutive home game, 81-80 tonight. You go up to Salt Lake City, the Viv, and a good one brewing. Pelicans come in 500, 18-18. Jazz have dipped 5 games below 500, 16-21 after that brutal December schedule. At the half, it's 58-55. The Pelicans lead by 3. Donovan Mitchell had 12 first-half points, and it was Joe Johnson chipping in 11. Rubio had 9. Drebko got the start tonight, and he has 7, so a pretty good one. We'll try to get you some drop-in scores as that second half is just getting going right now. Some games final in the association night. Washington beat New York. Houston over Orlando on the road. Philadelphia, nice win at home by 6 over San Antonio. Boston clobbered Cleveland tonight. Isaiah Thomas played last night, did not play tonight in the return to Boston. 102-88 the final score in that one. And then the only other final in the NBA, Milwaukee beat the Pacers 122-101.
Those are your Pac West and score updates brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware, and that will do it for our InfoWest halftime report as the final minute of halftime clock is winding down for you TV and internet viewers. You get to see some of the fans having a good time. They got the Brooks dance cam up on the video board, and that's what you see on your TV and internet side. Dixie State trailing 38-30, and the Trailblazers going to have to find a way to fight back into this. Take a look at the second half and pinpoints. We already had our Camping World keys of the game, Devin, but if we had to name some Camping World keys of the second half, what would those be?
Well, I mean, the tempo. I still think Dixie State can get out and run a little bit. Only 2 fast break points in that first half with Brandon Simmons and Trevor Hill and some wing players can really run the floor. You know, they were rebounding. They were trying to. Biola did a really good job at transition defense, and we talked about how important the tempo was. Obviously, getting stops is the number one thing. Just really inconsistent. You got to hold Biola in the second half below 50% shooting. They shot 53% in half number 1. And then you got to Hill's got to come up huge. Let's be honest. I mean, you got to have more than 3 points from your senior and the second all-time leading scorer in Dixie State D2 history. You got to get him going in this second half.
20 minutes up on the second half clock. It'll be Biola basketball to start. Teams will flip side. Dixie State now moving left to right across your radio dial as we see it. You hear it. If you're watching on TV or on the internet, it's flipped. It's right to left because of the position of the camera. And a trap right out of the opening pass in. And then Biola is going to be forced to take a timeout. Great defense by Dixie State.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Juddy was barking in the locker room about, is defense. And that time they got it right out of the gate.
Got the trap. It's the first coach's call timeout of the second half, so they're going to stretch it to a full. Let's do this. Let's take a 30. Don't want to miss any of the action. 19:53 to go in the second half. Game still 38-30 lead for Biola. 30-second timeout. Right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where the desert comes alive, where rain breaks forth from solid stone and gardens spring from blistered rock. There is a place with enough color to make a rainbow jealous, where boulders are bigger than buildings and cliffs are higher than clouds. There is a place that will straighten your step, tighten your grip, widen your eyes, and open your jaw. There is a place.
Just 7 seconds gone by in the second half. 19:53 to go in regulation. And Dixie State forcing the Biola timeout as that pass was inbounded. And Dixie State swarmed the ball and forced a quick timeout called. Biola did not want to risk a turnover. And so just 7 seconds in, timeout already. Biola with just 2 timeouts remaining in this game. Coach Judkins will have 3 timeouts in his back pocket.
Okay, got to slow down Blake Shannon a little bit. Yep. Game high 10 points right now, 8 by Talma. See if the defense can continue to spark the offense here early stages of half number 2.
Some confusion still, or delay. Referee over at the scorers table, not sure exactly what they're discussing, but there's 19:53 on the clock. I don't know if they're saying...
Gives us a chance
yeah,
to tell
I
you.
Guess
second half play-by-play brought to you by Findlay Volkswagen. Check out the all-star lineup. Findlay Volkswagen, Passats, the Beetles, Jettas, the 7-passenger Atlas, and more. Findlay Volkswagen on Sunland Drive, St. George.
But the problem is you've got 7 seconds run off of the game clock, but only 6 off of the shot clock, and I think they're trying to figure out why exactly that is. I think they were trying to take a second.
Up there, though. It could have been just a click different on the button drop. Not a big deal.
Ball back in play. Shannon guarded by Trevor Hill. That's one difference right there already. Kick to the corner. Talma back in with 2 fouls. A lob into Abel. Abel floating over Zach Hunter, and he scores. It's a 10-point lead for Biola, 40-30.
He's got 6 now on 3 of 5 shooting from the field. Abel down the block has played well so far tonight.
What will Dixie State do to respond here offensively? Trevor Hill holding right wing. Drives inside, ran into Isaiah Clark, and then they turn it over. Trying to pass to Kyler Nielsen, and it's stolen by Blake Shannon.
Well, Clark was coming to set a screen, but it was too late. Trevor had already initiated the drive, and they run right into each other. Just miscommunication by teammates there forced that turnover. 6th turnover of the night for the Trailblazers.
Shannon swinging it near side, nearly tipped away by Kyler Nielsen, but trying and able to chase it back down. He passes back to Shannon. Shannon holding left wing to Talma. Over to Shannon, deep 3 left wing, and he buries it with Brandon Simister in his face.
Huge team D3. He's a shooter. Got to keep a hand out there. He did. He's not going to hit every contested shot, but that was pretty.
And Trevor Hill dishes inside to Zach Hunter. He lays it up and in with the left hand for Dixie State offensively. 43-32, Biola by 11. 18:30 to play in the second.
There's your leading scorer for the Trailblazers. I'm watching Isaiah Clark. He looks like he's in a little bit of pain still out there, but got the start in the second half.
Trevor nearly gets the steal. Pass gets through to Bagatorian. He'll pass it inside, and it goes to the feet of Talma and out of bounds. A turnover for Biola. Dixie State will get it back. Taylor Youngblood will check in for Brandon Simister. Pretty quick substitution. Don't normally see Brandon come out that quick.
Yeah, Bagatorian's trying to get it to train in there, and it was just so much traffic there. Just a tough pass to make, and Dixie State in good defensive position.
18-10 remaining in the second. Trevor splits 2 defenders, gets inside to the right. He'll throw up a shot, a whistle, and a foul against Biola. Are they going to give him the shot and the free throws? A foul go against Talma, his 3rd. And the answer to that question is yes. Trevor Hill going to get a couple of Fabulous Freddy's free throws.
Like the aggressive play. Trailblazers trying to push the issue. Still not relying on the 3-point shot. Trying to go inside, slash, and try to create some offense on the dribble drive here early on in the second half.
Trevor makes the first free throw. He's got a 4. Get a good look at Coach Judkins right in front of us at the scorer's table, UTV and internet viewers.
Got his New Year blue tie on
Looks like
tonight.
almost a new suit, too. I don't know if I've seen him in that suit before. Looking sharp.
Maybe trying to change it up after a loss. Don't lose at home very often, but that's the story. Trailblazers coming off that 74-72 loss last Saturday night to start this 4-game homestand.
9-point deficit as Trevor makes both free throws, nearly gets the steal on the inbounds pass. Biola with possession and a 43-34 lead. 18 minutes remaining in the second. Shannon to the left. Drives in, now brings it back out.
And I like the Youngblood, the first guy off the bench, to try to slow down Shannon because he's got the length on Shannon.
And off to Bagatorian, 12 to shoot for Biola. This is where you've got to take it. Late in the shot clock, Kyler Nielsen gets a steal. Pass ahead to Trevor in transition, and he is blocked from behind. And Trevor wants a foul call. Coach Judkins wants a foul call. And the 2,000 plus in attendance want a foul call, but we're not going to get it.
Well, Trevor did go up with the one hand. I expected like a big contact. I'm glad Trevor didn't get blown out into the baseline there. He went for the block instead, but defense leading the offense. Kyler Nielsen with the steal and the nice outlet. And clearly a foul. No call.
Bounce into Isaiah Clark. And Clark is fouled inside by Isaiah Jones, his first. Dixie State will maintain the possession with 17:30 to play. 43-34 lead for Biola. Bounce into Zach Hunter to Trevor, top of the key. Drives inside, gets bumped. Now he's fouled. And 2 free throws coming for Trevor Hill. Bagatorian trying to argue that he got ball, but there was a lot of body, and a foul will go against Bagatorian in second.
I like the assertiveness of Trevor Hill, though, early on in the second half. He is looking to get in the key, make good things. That quick first, look at how he cradles the ball, and there's a lot of arm grabbing going on. I don't know how you got anything to say about that. Good call by the officials.
Trevor, first free throw. He hits it. 6 points for Trevor Hill. A 43-35, 8-point lead for Biola. 17:24 to go. Dixie State, 6 of 9 from the stripe today. Travis Freddy's free throws. Second one rims out. It was halfway in and rimmed out. Isaiah Clark trying to chase down the rebound. And Trevor Hill frustrated a little bit. It looked like Isaiah got a hand on it, almost knocked it off a Biola player, and then chased it down and touched it before it went out of bounds.
I like this full court pressure, though. Jump out in and really make this guard line work to get it into the front court.
And down to Bagatorian, right back to Blake Shannon. And he's pressured
Dixie
by
State
Youngblood.
Has a lot of depth, more than Biola, so I love, use some guys, use some energy, try to slow this offense down.
Shannon inside working on Youngblood, kicks it back out, top of the key now, Trinan, 15 seconds to shoot. To the left, gets past Trevor Hill, and an offensive foul as Trinan extended the arm and pushed off on Trevor.
Yeah, he didn't like it because he hit the deck when the contact came. He thought he was fouled, but the Dixie State very good at taking a big block there. Brought to you by Gallion Welker and Beckstrom. If you've taken a big hit in a car accident, see the attorneys at Gallion Welker, Beckstrom, 628-1682.
16:55 to go in the second. Dixie State trailing 43-35. Hunter left elbow to Youngblood. Youngblood back to Zach. Zach high off the window, no. Tipped by Kyler Nielsen, no. Isaiah Clark rebound is stripped out of his hands. Here comes Biola. Shannon dribbles it off his foot and regains it. 16:35 to go in the second. Still an 8-point lead for Biola. Trinan pushing off on Trevor. Swings it left, ball tipped by Daylor Youngblood, trying to get it to Shannon. Shannon able to chase it down to the timeline, 10 to shoot for Biola. Shannon still lobbing in, tipped by Daylor Youngblood and stolen by Youngblood. Daylor ahead to Trevor, he's all alone. Here we go, and he will throw it down hard with 2 hands.
Nice outlet, Daylor Youngblood, defense leading offense. The volleyball tip goes up, gets it, outlet, Trevor Hill, easy, stroll in the park, and then the monstrous throwdown.
43-40, and a foul against Dixie State on the other end. Biola going to get free throws. 43-37 Dixie State.
Third dunk of the
by
night
6
for the Trailblazers, Carrick. That's giving the crowd something to cheer about. See if that fuels them here as we've got the media timeout coming here.
15:58 to go in the second. Dixie State trailing 43-37. A 60-second timeout right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network as you get to see Trevor Hill's dunk in transition. Back in 60 on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where looking out means looking in. where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
15:58 to go in the second. Dixie State trailing by 6, 43-37. And Biola going to have possession out of the timeout after Zach Hunter picked up his third foul. And that will send Zach back to the bench. Quincy Matthews checked in during the timeout. It'll be Bagatorian to trigger baseline right side for the Eagles.
And you love that two-hand leak out after the Daylor Youngblood thievery, but then you get the timeout, so you got to try to carry that momentum out of the timeout. The defensive intensity has been a lot hotter here in the second half for the Trailblazers, yet you're still down by 6.
Coach Judkins asking the referees why there's still 25 seconds on the shot clock after it took long enough for the ball to go all the way back up the floor.
It's a valid question.
And then the foul occurred. I mean, there shouldn't have been any question about where it was at, but now 2 officials over. You can see them on your screen.
Gives us a chance to thank Red Rock Real Estate. If you're in the lane looking to score a beautiful home here in southern Utah or sell, call your hometown realtors with Red Rock Real Estate and never turn it over except for the keys to your brand new home.
Trying to listen in, can't quite hear the conversation though. But I think they're going to leave it at 25 seconds on the shot clock. 15:58 to go after an extended under 16 media timeout. Bagatorian will finally trigger baseline right side. He holds, holding, looking, gets it in just right before the 5-second count. Abel, 15-foot jumper short off the front iron. Daylor Youngblood, the rebound, and a great seal out by Isaiah Clark to allow Daylor to get that rebound. Youngblood holding, three-point line straight away. They leave him open, and he'll fire a three, and he airballed it. Left it a little bit short. Kyler couldn't keep it in. He'll turn it over back to Biola.
Yeah, Kyler Nelson coming off that career-high 21 back on Saturday. He's 0 for 3. He has made 2 of 2 from the foul line, but a pretty quiet night for Kyler.
Shannon will inbound to Trinan, pressured by Trevor Hill. 6-point advantage for Biola, 43-37. Trinan still trying to get it over the timeline, does so with 1 second to spare. Daylor tips it away. We've got a steal. Trevor in transition, leaves for Daylor. He'll lay it up high, and he misses, and he's hit from behind. I don't think it was anything intentional by Trevor Trinan, but it just knocked the feet out from under Daylor Youngblood. He landed on his hip.
Yeah, right on the hip, and he couldn't get a hand down to soften that fall because both hands were extended high trying to get that bucket. But Daylor Youngblood is back up, strolling to the free throw line. And again, Daylor Youngblood's defense is sparking this offense. Hill trying to get that little helper shovel pass across the lane. Now we'll see if after taking that hard hit on the hard wood, he can settle the intensity down and take a deep breath and knock down the free throw. And there it goes. First one in.
Daylor makes the first one. You're going to get a look at the entire sequence, the steal. And then Trevor, great look to Daylor inside, and just a hard foul.
A little hip foul.
Yeah, nothing malicious, nothing intentional. Just a hard foul, and Daylor couldn't get a hand down. Daylor makes both. In the meantime, Brandon Simister checked in for Kyler Nielsen. And Dixie State within 4, 43-39, 15-20 to go. Biola with the possession.
Really good defensive unit out there. You got Hill, Quincy Matthews, Brandon Simister, Daylor Youngblood, Isaiah Clark. This is a really good defensive lineup right now. Juddy's got on the court.
Shannon, pressured by Youngblood, and he's been bothered by Youngblood here in the second half. Jones just checked in for the Eagles. Will give to Bagatorian. Bagatorian spinning inside, leaves for Jones. His shot is blocked. It's loose. Bagatorian chases it down. 2 seconds to get a shot off, and Shannon gets it off right at the shot clock horn. They miss it. It goes out of bounds, Dixie State ball. I can't believe he got that shot off.
Really good switch, and Quincy Matthews came off his guy, which was Abel, and really altered that. It almost looked like a lob pass or an air ball, and then they get the kick out. But just again, the defense looks much improved here in half number 2 for the Blazers. Chance here to cut it to a one-possession game.
Daler swinging it back to Quincy. Quincy drives to the baseline left side, stops the dribble, passes to Trevor. Three-point land straight away. Thought about a three. Instead gives to Simister holding on the right wing. Brandon back to Trevor. He'll pop a three, this time from the left side. Short off the front iron, and it fell through still.
Well, I like give it up, circle it around, and then Trev gets it back and, didn't wait. He caught it and shot it, even though he needed the friendly bounce. You love the decision and the process to get that team D3, and now it's just a one-point game.
43-42, Biola on top. 14-10 to play here in the second. A lot of basketball still to be played. Bagatorian gets past Trevor, and Trevor reaches in, gets whistled for the foul. His first. It'll be the second team foul against Dixie State. And with that, Julian Decree will check in for Isaiah Clark. Trevor's so close to the steal. Kind of had the left hand on the back of Bagatorian and then reached in. Kind of a double whammy. Referee had no choice but to make the call. Inbound pass goes to Abel for Biola. 18 to shoot for the Eagles. Pass it to the far side, and Tyus Dennis into the game. Blake Shannon going to get a breather. Dennis to the left and Bagatorian. Again, we go under 5 on the shot clock. Bagatorian, free throw line jumper over Trevor Hill. It rims out. Julian Decree the rebound.
Yeah, only got the rebound, though, because Q was boxing his guy out.
And Daler Youngblood, a great look inside, threaded the needle to Trevor, and Trevor had it but couldn't quite handle the pass. They smile, exchange a high five, laugh about it. That could have been 2 points for Trevor. 13:38 to play in the second. Biola the other way now.
That is a tough pass to catch on the baseline off a slow skipping bounce, but probably one that Trevor should have caught, Garrick.
Jones to the left wing and Trinan. Trinan to the baseline. Now brings it back out to the wing, top of the key. Bagatorian. Again, under 5 on the shot clock. Bagatorian jumping it left side, too strong. Decree rebound.
Much better job on the glass.
And Dixie State zips it up the floor. Simister was looking for Q, but he wasn't ready for it. A turnover now. Back the other way. Jones has it stripped out of his hands by Brandon Simister, and Simister's trying to say, hey, that went back off of him and out of bounds, but Biola going to maintain the possession. Substitutions for both teams. Dub Price will check in. Alongside Wade Miller. Decree thought he was coming out. He was halfway out of the game and said, no, you're staying in. He hustles back onto the floor.
I like that lineup, though, for Coach Judd, because that lineup gave them a lot of energy on defense. Now this second wave on the bench has got to continue to do the same.
Dennis for 3. Air ball. Dub Price the rebound. Talma is back in for Biola. He's been a factor offensively. Simister drives inside, kicks it out to Dub to the left corner. Wade Miller 3 on the way, and it is money.
Yeah, you give up a little defense. Quincy Matthews maybe better defender, and then Bubba gives you the offense, and Wade Miller from the far corner hits the team D3, and Dixie State back on top 45-43.
And it's a 15-0 run over the last 6:03 for Dixie State to take a 45-43 lead with 12:25 to play in the second. Talma to answer deep too strong, and it will crawl over the backboard and out of bounds. Dixie State will get it back with 12:22 to go in the frame. Dixie State, like you like to say, Devin, defense leading to offense here in the second half. And Wade Miller buries the team D out of 3, and it's a 15-0 run.
Yeah, the defense has been much improved, and the offense comes when you play good defense. Stop after stop has been huge.
Brandon Simister fakes the handoff to Wade Miller on his way to the baseline, and then he's fouled. Question is, did it come before the layup attempt, or will it be on the ground? It will be Tyus Dennis's first, and it will be on the ground. Little bump before he gets to the basket. Simister to trigger baseline left side. Looking, finds Wade Miller open in the left corner again. No, too strong. Tyus Dennis the rebound for Biola.
He's so open, maybe he thought how open he was and just disrupted the rhythm just a little bit. It was online, but just too strong like you alluded to. That's a good look. You got to take that shot when you're wide open.
Shannon leaves for Talma. Talma backing in on Decree. Hands off to Dennis.
Good help between Simister and Decree.
We bounce to Talma. Free throw line. Lowers the head, drives inside, and he's fouled by Dub Price.
Yeah, Decree got off his feet. He elevated, and Dub had to come over and help and commits the foul. If Julian doesn't leave his feet there, even though he's behind him trying to block that shot, you got to wait till they elevate, then you match it, and he left his feet, and that's what happened. That's only one of the few defensive mistakes the Blazers have made in the second half, though.
11:48 to go. Dixie State leading at 45-43 on the heels of a 15-0 run. Take the 60-second timeout, come right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. .11:48 to play, second half. Dixie State leading it 45-43. If you're just joining us, Dixie State trailed by double digits in this half, but a 15-0 run over the last 6:15 of this half, and Dixie State is retaking the lead at 45-43. Now Alex Talma at the line for the Eagles out of the timeout.
Yeah, and the big difference, Trevor Hill asserting himself offensively, getting out in transition, getting some fast break points. Him and Daylor Youngblood, nice dynamic duo. Defense leading to offense. That breaks the run, though, as that first free throw does drop through. But still, that's exactly what Coach Judkins wanted to see from his guys.
Talma makes both free throws. A couple of substitutions checking into the game for Biola. Levi Obel back in.
And Trailblazers shooting 40% from the field in the second half, but holding Biola to 22%.
Game tied at 45. Blake Shannon also came back in for Biola. Wade Miller, handoff to Simister. Simister drives to the left, now back to the right. Hang, can't hit. Ball tipped around, and it goes to Trevor Trinan for Biola. Here come the Eagles. Shannon driving inside, kicks it back out. Christian Carroll for three, right wing, and he buries it.
Yeah, Trev overplayed that wing and then had to try to recover, and then the kick out was wide open, and he made him pay.
48-45, Biola back up on top by 3. 11:05 to play in the second. Trevor gets past Shannon, and he'll lay it up and in. Reverse from left to right and score it.
They cannot stop Trevor Hill with that quick first step. Keep working the offense through Hill.
Talma left open. He'll pop a three straight away, and the big man hits it.
Decree's like, oh my goodness, that's the first shot from downtown from the big guy. He did not extend out past the free throw line. He turned and popped that. He's got to get out further to defend that.
Simister inside. Shot is blocked. Dixie State will maintain the possession. 10:40 to go. I tell you, they've extended the coaches' boxes this year, Devin, so Coach Judkins can wander farther this way. And there are a lot of times where I can't see through him. He's not standing there now, but had a hard time seeing that last play. Simister will bounce in to Zach Hunter. Now top of the key, Trevor. Holding with 15 seconds to shoot. 10:30 to go on the game clock. Hill looking in, Dub Price. He's wide open, lays it up, and it's goaltending. Ball had already bounced off the backboard when Talma reached up and blocked that one away. Dub Price going to get the point.
Well, they're giving so much attention on that screen to Trevor Hill. They double him, and then Dub slips it. He's wide open.
Pass ahead is stolen by Trevor Hill. The inbounds pass. Trevor driving inside, and he'll lay it up and in with contact.
Not good defense there. He was almost trying to take the charge. Well, Trevor Hill stopped, and it looked like just kind of a blow-by block attempt, and then he goes up, and then the next wave comes and fouls him on the arm. Take a look for this on the replay. Trevor Hill, just the athleticism, skying in front, steals it, and then you try to take a block. Well, there's not enough contact there to call a charge or a block, and Trevor Hill gets the and one opportunity.
We've lost the shot clock on the north basket inside the arena.
Trevor Hill had 3 points in the first half, Carrick, and all of a sudden Trevor is turning it on. He's now 5 and 9 from the field, 1 for 1 from downtown, 4 or 6 from the free throw line. He's got 15 points, 4 assists, and 2 steals now in this contest. That's Trevor Hill we're used to seeing here at the Burns Arena.
And you know who's trying to fix it right now is Coach Judkins and assistant Casey Winters, and they get it fixed.
Maybe it goes out in practice and they know where to bump it at.
Goes out. When you can't figure it out, you go to the guys who help keep this thing running. The coaches come through again, and it's back on, and we're ready to play basketball. Trevor Hill will have a free throw. Game tied at 51, 10:21 to play here in the second. As Trevor trying to complete the three-point play. Assistant coach Casey Winters getting his props on his way back down the scores table. Trevor to the free throw line to try and complete the three-point play, leaves it short, and Biola the rebound. Goes to Trevor Trinan. Game tied at 51, 10:15 to go. Here in regulation. Strap on your seatbelts, everybody. We've got a good one down the stretch. Trinan trying to find Abel, bounces off of Abel, but goes right to Talma. Tom will hand off to Carroll. Carroll back to Shannon, left wing, 10 to shoot. Shannon driving inside, reverse scoop, and it is rejected by Trevor Hill into the third row. Trevor says, I might have even saw a little Dikembe finger wag there for just a minute from Trevor.
Watch how he slides his feet and can't steal the baseline, but he lets him go with the reverse, then blocks the shot. That is perfectly played by Trevor Hill.
And there it is, the Dikembe finger wag. Inbound pass to Abel, and he gets it to go. Tough shot off the window in traffic.
It looked like he was kind of losing his balance, flipped it up, and just found the bottom of the bucket.
53-51, Dixie State trailing by 2, 9:43 to go in the second. Zach Hunter, open 15-footer, baseline left side, and it splashes home. Timeout Dixie State after the made basket.
Really good. Trevor Hill, they're paying so much attention to Trevor. That's going to create opportunities just like that. And the unselfish pass, and Zach Hunter has to make that bucket, and he does from about 16 feet out. Nice stroke. That's what we're used to seeing. You know, Zach started this game with a quick 6 points, and that time hit it from just inside the three-point line. That's his shot. That's his range. He can really stretch it out. He can even hit the 3. Nice luxury for the 4 spot. Him and Dub Price, some of these 4s, Quincy Matthews, they can really shoot the basketball when they're spotting up.
8 points for Zach Hunter. Dixie State and Biola tied at 53.
I'll tell you, that Wade Miller 3 that he hit kind of sparked this team, and then the thievery, man. Now 12 turnovers forced by Biola and counting. In fact, they might have even missed one. They're 13 now. 13 turnovers by Biola. You look at Dixie State, much better than last Saturday night when they lost. They only have 8, and 3 of those in the last 10-plus minutes of second half action. They're really taking care of the basketball tonight.
Timeout's brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union. Your one-loss scoreboard also reading 53-53. 9:36 to go here in the second. Blake Shannon will bring the ball up, harassed by Trevor Hill. Got 5 seconds to get across the timeline. He'll fire to the far side, and Trinan, he's trapped but passes out of it. Shannon into the left corner. Carroll, pump fake, gets Zach off his feet. One dribble to the right, and he buries the 3.
Oh, the foot stomp from Judd. He didn't like that open 3, and they're now 4 of 6 in the second. The three-point shot's what's keeping Biola in this game right now.
Simister looking to Trevor, baseline left side. Leaves for Dub for 3, left corner. No. Zach Hunter in position but couldn't quite get the rebound, was pushed off the block. And here comes Biola with a 56-53 lead, 8:50 to go. Shannon skipping it to the right side. Carroll, pump fake to the free throw line, back to Shannon. Shannon to the right, leaving for Talma, 5 to shoot. Talma to the free throw line. Spinning left, and he traveled. Great defense from Dixie State. Talma travels. Trailblazers get it back with 8:32 to go in the second, trailing by 3, 56-53. Quincy Matthews will check in for the ball game. Kyler Nielsen also back in. Wade Miller, Dub Price back to the bench after a good stretch.
Yeah, we're going to see if this defense can continue to sustain. They've really locked down, but now a chance for the offense to run it through Trevor Hill. Here they go.
Trevor, right side. Had Simister in the right corner, but brought it back out to the top. Trevor still with it, looking inside at Zach, and it's tip taken away. Too much traffic to try to get that pass in there.
And a little lob, a little lackadaisical lob that was tipped and intercepted there.
Shannon pulls up for 3 in transition, misses it on the left wing. Dixie State the rebound. Kyler Nielsen Into the paint. Leaves for Trevor. Will throw up a circus shot. No. Kyler tip. Put back. No. Tom with the rebound for Biola. We are under 8. Media timeout coming next whistle. Blake Shannon will set things up. He's been a little more quiet here in the second with Trevor guarding him. But Christian Carroll has made back-to-back threes for Biola. Shannon looking for Carroll. Can't find him. Instead to Trinan on the left wing. 5 to shoot. Trinan over Kyler Nielsen, and he scores a tough one up and over the outstretched hands of Nielsen. 58-53, 5-point lead for Biola. 7:18 to play. Hunter to the right wing, and Trevor to the free throw line. Takes to Simister. Brandon's only got 5 points in this game. Bouncing to Quincy Matthews. Left block, spinning to the left. Gets it up. No. A lot of contact, no whistle. Kyler can't get the rebound. And the whole Dixie State bench is asking for a foul.
I think Q maybe a pump fake there and then go up strong. Might have got it, but try to challenge, and it was timed. It still appeared like he got a little piece of the arm there, but no whistle, no call, and Dixie State can't close that gap again. You know, came back, took that lead, and now they've given it back up here. Crunch time. Here we go.
Trying it to Abel on the baseline, and he will score it. 7-point lead for Biola. 10 points for Abel, 60-53. Dixie State has got to make something happen here.
Abel strong move, went up, fought through, got that bucket. Blazers need an answer here. This is a big offensive possession.
Trevor to Simister, pump fake, leaves it for Kyler inside, and he is fouled by Talma, and that's the 4th foul on Alex Talma as Kyler hits the deck hard.
Yeah, Kyler, Coach Judkins telling me earlier today, been having the flu, didn't practice, shoot around, missed it. They've been trying to get him a lot of fluids, and he's giving him everything he can got. One unselfish extra pass by Simister, and then the contact, and that's huge to have him pick up his 4th foul. He got his money's worth, too. A lot of body as Kyler hit the deck.
6:11 to go in the second. Biola leading 60-53. 60-second timeout, right back to the Burns and the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Kyler Nielsen at the line for 2 Fabulous Freddy's free throws out of the timeout. Joining him on the floor out of the break, Brandon Simister, Daylor Youngblood, Quincy Matthews, and Zach Hunter. On the floor for Biola, Levi Abel, Blake Shannon, Isaiah Jones, as Kyler makes the first free throw. Also on the floor for Biola, Trevor Trinan and Michael Bagatorian. Kyler with 3. They've all come from the stripe tonight. One more, and it rims out. Abel the rebound. 60-54. Biola leads by 6. And an offensive foul going to go against Blake Shannon as he pushes off on Daylor Youngblood. Coach Judkins was asking for the call, and his wish was granted. Dixie State gets the ball back. Shannon's first. Dixie State trailing by 6, needing a bucket here. Kyler Nielsen for 3, right wing, in and out. Offensive rebound, Daylor Youngblood back to Kyler, touch pass into Q, slips, regains his balance and misses a shot. And a jump ball going to be called as Kyler gets tied up with Isaiah Jones. Possession will stay with Dixie State.
Right there, good idea. Q just couldn't quite get the footing.
The pass kind of surprised Quincy a little bit too.
Yep. This is a very unselfish team.
Oh, yeah.
Always got to be ready to roll. Let's see what Juddy's so good at inbounds play. We'll see what he draws up here. See if he can maybe slip something and get something point-blank range and get an easy bucket and get back to that defensive end.
A little delay in the action. Referee signaled the motion to reset the shot clock. It's at 30. Now they're going to take 2 seconds off of the shot clock, set it to 28. Now they've put it to 26. They've asked for 28. Now we got it to 28. 5:50 to go in regulation. Dixie State trailing by 6. Simister bounces to Youngblood. Brandon gets it right back in the right corner. 3-ball rims out. Tip put back from Zach Hunter. Rims out, and a foul.
On who?
On who? They've not yet motioned. It looks like it's going to be Biola. Bagatorian picking up the foul. His third as he brought Zach Hunter to the ground.
Well, I like that design. You get it in, and then you get the guy that triggered it inbound, Simister, to go right to the corner. He gets an open look at a three. That's his shot. He's square and everything, just did not find the mark. And then the wraparound there, that's a good call. He hooked Hunter as he was trying to grab that rebound.
And Zach going to miss the first free throw. That actually the 10th team foul against Biola here in the second.
Dixie State from the free throw line just, 9 of 15 right now?
And just 3 against Dixie State. Zach makes the second. Dixie State back to within 5. 60 to 55. 5:44 to go.
10 of 17.
Shannon will lob into Trinan. They break the press. Bouncing inside to Jones. His shot is blocked by Quincy Matthews, but back to Biola. They'll reset Shannon quickly to Bagatorian. Left wing to Jones.
I love the way Q's playing right now, Carrick. Jones, so.
Isaiah Jones, free throw line jumper, and he sinks it. 6 points for Jones. 7-point Biola lead, 62-55. 5:20 to play. Nielsen looking inside to Daylor. Daylor back to Simister, holding left wing. Now to Daylor. Driving the in line, leaves for Quincy to the left. One more pass to Kyler. Shot is blocked and then tipped out of bounds. They're going to say off of Kyler.
I think that's the right call, though. I think he did. I thought he got hit across the head, though, Carrick, and no call. Unselfish extra pass. Quincy might have should have went up with the left hand. He got grazed there, but he did touch it last. Another empty possession offensively for the Trailblazers. They just cannot find that offensive rhythm we're used to seeing right now. Biola's getting stops.
Shannon takes the Bagatorian to Abel, free throw line. 4:54 to go. Dixie State running out of time. Abel over the top of Quincy. Can't get it to go. And Zach Hunter threw it away from Brandon Simister. At least Brandon maybe stumbled a little bit, trying to get back up the floor as well, and Dixie State will turn it over.
It's too bad because Quincy Matthews did an incredible job not fouling, making that a tough shot. You get the easy all-alone rebound and then the outlet pass into the first row. That's costly right there with 4:47 to go. You're down by 7 points. You can't give it up in that spot after you got a nice stop.
Bagatorian bounces to Abel, baseline right side, working on Quincy. Quincy holding his ground. They kick it out to Shannon. 4:38 to go. Shannon spinning to the left, gets past Taylor Youngblood and reverses from left to right and lays it in. 15 points for Blake Shannon, 9-point Biola lead. Simister hangs, can't hit with contact. He'll get 2 free throws as they push it quickly up the floor the other way.
Now you like that Shannon move if you're an Eagle fan because he slipped through the double team, got the reverse wrap around with some English off the window. But then Dixie State, they're going to have to keep pushing. I like it. Outlet Sims, get him to the free throw line. Nearly got the and one opportunity. Ball, you're going to watch it. Gets the bump and then hangs. Pretty good look there after the contact came. And I think they were going to give him the continuation, but couldn't get it to drop.
Simister will make both Fabulous Freddy's free throws. He's got 7.
Quiet night offensively for Sims.
Shannon going to take a timeout right at the 5-second mark to avoid the turnover. The Biola will take the timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. And they're going to stretch it to a full. 4:25 to go. Looks like we're going to the media. 64-57. Dixie State trails by 7. It's crunch time. 60-second timeout right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where rocks bleed, and nature blushes on a battlefield green with envy, where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where friends are opponents, and opponents are friends, where the prize is elusive, the conquest is captivating, and the score isn't settled till the drinks are down. There is a place.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
.425 to play, Dixie State trailing by 7, 64-57. It is crunch time inside the Burns Arena. Biola already took down the women's team earlier tonight. And the Eagles have their sights set on a doubleheader sweep. Shannon, baseball pass down the court is caught by Trinan. Trevor was there to try and make the steal, but couldn't get to it. Back to Shannon, 40 feet from the bucket, left side, working on Simister. Pulls up, step back jumper, left elbow, no. Q going up, grabs the rebound in traffic. Quincy Matthews done a fantastic job in the minutes that he's seen here tonight. Trevor, hands off, and gets it back, drives inside, a blocking foul against Biola. Trevor frustrated with himself that he couldn't complete the layup and try to get a three-point play. Foul will go against Trinan, his 4th. Trevor to the line for free throws, and these are big. Got to make these now.
Yeah, he erupted for a quick 10 here in the second half, and now the last about 4 or 5 minutes of game time hasn't found a bucket, but maybe getting the free throw line, seeing a couple through here, get him going for this finish.
Misses the first. 3:56 to go. Dixie State trailing by 7. They need every point they can get.
12 of 20 from the line now as a team for the Trailblazers. That was something we were talking about ad nauseum early in the season.
Yeah,
and it got better, but tonight not a great percentage from the line.
He hits the second. 16 points for Trevor Hill. And it's something that the free throw shooting is certainly, I think it's become secondary now. There's been other things in the past couple of games that have stood out more than just the free throw shooting. Bagatorian trapped, able to pass out of it to Trinan left wing. Inside, Abel, his shot is blocked. Who are they going to call the foul against? Either be Quincy or Kyler. And it's going to be Quincy. Kyler came up from the help side, got all ball, but Quincy got a little bit of body.
I thought it was pretty clean play, to be honest with you there. But he attacked it and kind of came down on the ball. Anytime you swipe hard down, you're likely to pick that foul up.
And Levi Abel misses the free throw, 69% free throw shooter.
You see, here's the help in the backside. And it looked pretty good. Defensive play there.
Second free throw, he missed them both. Quincy snares the rebound. And that is rebound number 5 for Mr. Matthews. Trevor kicks to Quincy, thought about a 3, instead drives inside. He's going to get a blocking foul. I was expecting the offensive foul all the way. That foul will go against Bagatorian, his 4th.
Well, I think he was jump spotting. I don't think he was trying to get all the way down to the lane. There was some contact, though. Is he set? Yeah, that's probably.
That might be the right call.
Could have went either way.
Looked like
coach didn't like it.
Bagatorian was trying to get all the way. He had his knees bent just a little bit and was trying to get to the position that he wanted to be to try and draw the charge. Quincy misses the first free throw.
Yeah, he has not got one through from the foul line tonight. Now 0 for 3. He's got to try to find the range here. There it is.
He hits the second.
Trailblazers will show a little man-to-man full court press.
Dixie State back to within 5 with 3:33 to go. Trevor gets a tip, saves it in on the sideline, can't keep it in.
Really good deny by Trevor Hill. There was the 5 count was coming.
They've been really close a couple of times.
Well, they had to take a timeout already once when they full court pressed. They couldn't get it in to avoid a 5 count.
Bagatorian passes into Trinan, and he's fouled by Brandon Simister. His first. It'll just be the 4th team foul against Dixie State. Might not be. Check that. The 5th team foul. Dixie State will be right where they need to be now if they end up needing to foul down the stretch.
Right, exactly. Don't mind that one bit, going for the steal there. Sims just a little bit late, trying to steal that ball on that pass.
Agatorian brings the ball across the timeline, hands off to Shannon. 3:20 to go in regulation. Dixie State trails by 5. Get a stop and a bucket. We're going to have an interesting one down the stretch. Shannon guarded by Kyler Nielsen. We haven't seen this matchup yet tonight. Shannon with 9 to shoot. Gives to Talma for 3 straight away. Way off. Zach Hunter has the rebound. I don't think that's the shot that Coach Holmquist wanted. Trevor bouncing inside to Quincy. Reverse from left to right, and he scores.
Q has got to be your leading candidate for our GB John Super Sub of the game. He has come in and sparked on both ends. Beautiful finish there for Quincy Matthews.
Dixie State within 3. Trinan, left wing with 2:42 to go. Gets to the free throw line. 14 to shoot. Hand off to Shannon. Bounce back to Trinan, left corner, driving the end line. Leaving it inside for Talma. Stripped by Quincy. Kyler's got it. Ahead to Trevor. He will drive. No, can't hit. Quincy trying to save it in. He can't get it. He knocks it out of bounds. Trevor asking where the foul is.
You've got to finish through contact. Can't expect to get that every time. You thought you got the bump, which made him shoot it way over the backboard, way too strong. I don't know if he was guessing more contact was coming or what, but concentrate and try to get that to drop through. Nice defense leading to offensive opportunities, but the Trailblazers an inch closer. Anybody's game now, 3-point game with 2:18 to go up on the St. George Topper clock.
Got to have a stop here. Bagatorian, top of the key to Abel. The 3-point game, hand off to Shannon. Cannot give up a 3 on this possession. Shannon to the left elbow. Bouncing into Talma outside. 3 for Trinan. No. Zach Hunter the rebound. Outlet pass goes to Sinister. Brandon dribbles through the legs. Will jump it from the free throw line, and he hits it. Kind of everybody off guard. He's got 9. Dixie State trails by 1. 64-63. 1:45 to go.
And for Biola, a very important opportunity to try to answer here.
Abel inside, off the window, and he scores over Zach Hunter.
Wow.
3-point game again. Ahead to Trevor. Trevor bounces, top of the key. Zach Hunter thought about a 3, drives inside, lays it in with the right hand, and 1. Abel commits the foul. His first.
Really good kick out. Hunter thought about the 3 from straight away. Instead, put it on the bounce, blew by everybody. Not a lot of contact here. Biola coaching department doesn't like it, trying to take that charge, but I think because Zach went around away from it, there really wasn't a ton of contact, and then the block was called.
Biola going to take its final timeout with 1:29 remaining, and I believe it's a full is all they have left. Indeed it is. 1:29 to play. Dixie State trailing by 1, but Zach Hunter an opportunity to tie the game. Let's just take a 30. You don't want to miss any second of the action. A 30-second timeout right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
.129 to go. Dixie State trailing by 1. 66-65. Trailed by as many as 10 here in the second half. Fought back to take the lead. Went down again by as many as 9, and they've slowly chipped away. And Zach Hunter making the layup before the timeout. Got fouled. He can tie this thing at 66 with 1:29 to go.
41% shooting from the field for Dixie State in this game. 49% from Biola here on the road. 38% for Biola from the three-point line. Only 25% for the Blazers. 3 for 12 from downtown. Free throws, both teams right around 60% so far. And we haven't settled anything. A free throw, like you said, could tie from Zach Hunter. Got that assist from Trevor Hill.
Biola going to get a bench warning out of the timeout, kind of a delay warning. We're not breaking the huddle soon enough. Zach Hunter to the line to try to complete the three-point play. You can see some people in the crowd kind of covering their eyes a little bit. They want this free throw badly.
Could be one of our leading candidates for the Les Olson play of the game if he can get the and-one opportunity here, capped off from the stripe.
Couple of bounces for Zach. Free throw is good. Completes the three-point play. 12 points for Zach Hunter. We are all square at 66. 1:29 to play in regulation.
2-2-1 full court. Drop into a man and make it a half-court trap.
Shannon back to Trinan. D-Lo goes straight away. Chance of defense raining down from this Burns Arena crowd. Talma holding left wing, 10 to shoot. Back to the top of the key. Bagatorian down to 8. Got a mismatch on Simister, trying to exploit it. And Abel is going to get nailed for an offensive foul because he tried to set a screen on Brandon Simister and he drilled him to the ground while he was moving.
Yeah, he didn't move over and set. He kind of threw his shoulder at Sims to get a chip. And that's fine if you're a defensive end in football, taking a chip from an offensive lineman, but that don't work in basketball. That's the right call. Wind it up. And watch it again for our CEC TV audience. Just a little bit of, and it wasn't blatant, but the official's on the near side.
He could see it all the way.
And could perfectly see just that little shoulder throw. And man, Abel gets caught. And now the Trailblazers a chance to take control of this game with a bucket here on this possession. It's been in doubt all night long. You can't drop to 3-3 in conference play because you'd probably have to win out to have a chance at the conference championship. You're playing an 0-5 newcomer in the conference on your home court. And Dixie State showing some grit here late. Got a chance here to really put the pressure back on Biola if they can get a bucket. Got to run the offense through Trevor Hill. And then Quincy Matthews, Kyler Nelson, Zach Hunter got to crash the glass.
Dixie State has not led since the 11:48 mark here in the second. They can retake the lead on this possession. Game tied at 66, 56 seconds to go. Nielsen looking into Zach Hunter, and he threw it away. That looked almost just like the play, their last possession of the game on Saturday against Point Loma.
Well, you got a ball screen, he slips it, so you try to lob it over the top. Use that ball screen. I don't understand. I mean, was it there? Yeah, but Hunter's still going to have a defender on him, and all he could do is maybe turn and shoot a 12-footer.
Game tied at 66. And a foul going to be called against Brandon Simister. I tell you, he had a lot to give, so Simister picked up the foul, his second. It looks an awful lot like Blake Shannon's pushing off, going to stiff arm and going Heisman pose a little bit on his way up the floor, but did have one to give. We get a look at it here. Boy, not a lot in that. Agatorian holding. Crosses over to the right. Spinning. Will float with the right in the paint. It rims out. Offensive rebound. Talma, and he's fouled by Zach Hunter with 30.3 seconds remaining.
Ooh, and that rebound opportunity. Man, that was sneaky by Talma. I mean, he comes all the way down, gets position, just out jumps Hunter because he's inside. And the foul was late as he hit him across the shoulder, but it did come.
Talma just a 46% free throw shooter, and he steps up cool as the other side of the pillow, makes the first. You notice he went quick, didn't want any time to think about that. Couple of bounces and just shot it. Can give Biola a 2-point lead now. He makes them bold.
Big free throws by Talma.
68-66, 2-point lead for Biola.
Game clock, shot clock, almost identical here.
25 seconds remaining. Dixie State does have one timeout. Trevor inside, hang, can't hit off the window, tipped around. It was tipped by Biola, so Brandon Simister can chase this down, and he's fouled beyond the timeline by Trevor Trinan, and that is his 5th foul. Brandon Simister is going to have 2 free throws to tie it with 16.3 seconds remaining.
That couldn't have worked out better for the Trailblazers. You get that tip out, touched by both players, kind of simultaneously trying to get a tip rebound, and then Trima just overruns it. You know, you should have sat back and played defense. You got a 2-point lead. You don't want a foul in that situation. He tripped Simister, and you put the best Trailblazer free throw shooter on the line.
Yeah, you can't fault the kid for trying to make a play.
No,
he's just trying to get the ball back. But yeah, in that situation, you hang back and you probably let Simister just gather that ball.
Yeah, maybe he has to try to save it and it goes right to you or something of that nature.
Brandon makes the first free throw. He's got 10. Dixie State with one timeout remaining, so you may see them spend it if Brandon makes this free throw.
Hill's got 16, Hunter 14. Now Sims, like you mentioned, with 10, 3 different Blazers in double figures.
Brandon will get it to go. Dixie State not going to take the timeout. Biola out of timeouts. They don't want to give the Eagles a chance to set. Shannon can run the inline. Simister fell. Bagatorian is going to miss the layup as Simister fouls him from behind. Brandon Simister slipped. He was the one that was supposed to be watching that player that leaked out, and Simister slipped. Got back and was able to foul at the layup.
He was running it, and Juddy said behind, so he gets behind, and then he started to run and then circled back, and you're right, he did lose his footing, and then you got a smaller defender, and luckily it wasn't the and one.
Bagatorian's going to miss the free throw. The first one is short. So now, whether he makes this free throw or not, Dixie State can play for the win on the next possession. Bagatorian, second free throw. He gets it. 1 point lead, 69-68. Dixie State has a timeout. Trevor lets it roll, picks it up with 13 seconds at the timeline. Trevor inside. He's going to lay it up and in easily. Dixie State has a 1 point lead, and
Trevor got a cramp?
I think Trevor's cramping, and they're going to blow it dead. And Dixie State might have to take the timeout if they want to keep Trevor in the ball game.
What a blow-by Trevor Hill. Because he waited to grab the ball, waited. Everybody was really spread out. Once he grabbed it, boom, he turns on the accelerator, goes right by Bagatorian. Nobody helps, and he softly lays it in to take a 1 point lead.
And he cramped up right there. It's exactly what it was. They're going to sub Trevor out so they don't have to take the timeout.
Roll out that calf really quick.
10.7 seconds remaining. Wow, what a sequence. Dixie State leads by 1. Now you're looking for one more stop. And then to try to make some free throws down the stretch. Shannon going to drive. Pulls up for 3. Partially blocked by Kyler. Offensive rebound. 2-1. Auble for the win. And it will rebound. Dixie State wins it. Trailblazers win it by 1. And Dixie State nearly took it off the rim. That was so close.
Auble just looked at the clock, pulling his way in about 12-footer. A little shot-put shot. And it spun around the rim and then fell off. That's as close you come. An elation for the Trailblazers. They needed this one, and for Biola, this one hurts because you were battling to try to pick up your first ever conference win in the Pac-West, and they just come up 1 point shy. You had an opportunity to get that shot off, though, on the offensive rebound. I like the fact Shannon took that 3 early, so they had that opportunity, and the Blazers, you could almost say, dodged a little bit of a bullet here, and they pick up a huge home win.
Coach Judkins giving the cameraman a thumbs up. If we've got that replay, let's run that last sequence one more time before we go to break. If not, we can just go to break. But Dixie State winning it 70-69, forcing a 3-point shot by Shannon. It rimmed out on the left side. I'm not sure they do have the replay later. We can look at it in the highlights. But Shannon missed the 3-point shot. The rebound by Auble. Here we go. Shannon takes the 3.
Nice contest by Nielsen.
Great offensive rebound by Auble. Checks the clock, and he puts it up, and it just would not stay down. And Quincy.
He didn't run. And Quincy had to let him get that shot off. You can't commit a foul in that situation. So he had to go straight up right there, and he did his job. And how about the performance of the bench tonight, led by Quincy Matthews, especially on the defensive end. Trevor Hill coming alive in that second half offensively, and the Dixie State Blazers pick up their 4th conference win of the season. They'll go chat about it, and it should be a lot more fun to talk to Coach Judkins than it was after their 2-point loss. And finally, Dixie State closes out a close game. They've been on the short end of these close games, 5 times now this season, and this time they finish the comeback and get the win.
Trevor Hill with one of our leading candidates for our Les Olson at play of the game, and a very senior-laden move as he blows past the Biola defense, lays it up and in for the game-winning shot. Then Dixie State gets the stop on defense to win it. Dixie State 70, Biola 69. A thriller, but hey, we are not done yet. We're going to take a quick 3-minute timeout. In fact, let's make it just a 2-minute timeout. Just a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, the Johnson Pediatric post-game report. We're going to name a Dats Trucking player of the game, a Porta Sub Super Sub of the game, and a Les Olson play of the game, and we will talk to the coach, head coach John Judkins. about this one. So don't go anywhere. It's just getting started. Johnson Pediatric postgame report coming up right after this 2-minute timeout on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
There is a place where young and old make connections, where kids feel like grown-ups, and grown-ups feel like kids. There is a place where beauty arises in contrast, where wonder is universal, and laughter second nature. There is a place where friends find a future, families find each other, and feelings find their home. There is a place.
Retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. And I appreciated it very much, the attention that was given. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Dixie State winning it 70-69, and I needed all 2 minutes of that break. Catch my breath, soak it all in. Dixie State winning it 70-69. They trailed by 9 with 4:33 to go, and over that final 4:33, they closed the game out with a 15-5 run, including a game-winning layup with 9 seconds remaining by Trevor Hill as he brought the ball up after a Biola free throw to take a 1-point lead, and instead of trying to play for one shot, he saw a lane and he went straight to the rack and laid it up and in. Cramped up after that, so he was not in for the final play defensively, but Dixie State able to get the stop, and it was Quincy Matthews to try and help get the stop on that great defense on Auble after the offensive rebound, and Quincy's there to help get the stop as the shot from Auble looked like it might fall in, but it popped back out, and Dixie State emerging victorious, now 7-6, 4-2 in the Pac West. We welcome you inside the Johnson Pediatric postgame report. Dr. Cody Johnson and his staff make your kids feel right at home. See why so many are choosing Johnson Pediatrics. Call 628-0511 and ask for the new patient special. Devin, Dixie State had to have this game. You couldn't afford to lose 2 conference games back-to-back at home, and they dug deep, trailed by 9 with just about 4 minutes to go, closed on a 15-5 run, and got the win to protect home court.
Yeah, it feels good. Feels good to find a way because, you know, I was talking with Juddy about a 20-minute conversation today, and he's just like, we got to find ways to win these close games. We're putting ourselves in position. Everybody's gunning for us. Everybody's trying to steal road games. This conference, there's a lot of parity. And you got a hungry team here tonight that outplayed you for a good portion of this game and had the lead for a long time. And you never felt like Biola was going to run away, but there was some questionable moments there down the stretch where you wondered if Dixie State was going to have enough fuel to get to the finish line, and they just did. Good performance. You know, I kept saying we got to run the offense through Trev. Trevor's got to take, and he did in the second half. Really aggressive, really assertive. Trevor Hill making plays. And, you know, you got some really good production from some key guys. Now, I thought Quincy Matthews played remarkable tonight. I mean, the box score tells a lot of it, not all of it. But Quincy Matthews, I thought, I mean, not only maybe a chance to be your Jimmy John super sub. That I think's a lock, but maybe your player of the game. I mean, the defense, time and time again, I thought he was in position. He rebounded well. He got a couple steals, gave you a few points. Didn't shoot it great from the free throw line, but I loved his performance. Probably not going to get past, Hunter or Hill for the player of the game. But I got to commend Quincy Matthews. His minutes have been cut a little bit, but you noticed by the way he played in the first half, he earned minutes in the second half, and down the stretch, when it mattered, he was on the floor. And I think it really showed that Kyler Nelson's had the flu. He didn't play great tonight, and other guys like Quincy Matthews, Zach Hunter had to step up, and they did. And that's huge for this team because this is a deep team with a lot of different guys on given nights that can give you some key plays, some key shots, some key stops.
I'm going to just go right out and say, you said you think it's a lock. It is a lock. Porta Subs super sub of the game. Slice fresh sandwiches every day made right before your eyes. Porta Subs in St. George on the Boulevard. Quincy Matthews, for me, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 3 of 6 from the field. Did miss the 3 free throws. Had an assist and 3 steals and a block as well in 19 minutes of play off the bench. And that's the Quincy Matthews that we've become accustomed to seeing through his freshman year, off and on during his sophomore season last year, and now during his junior season. I think you'll see him rewarded with more minutes going into Friday's game against Dominican and even into California Baptist on Monday. So for me, Porta Sub, super sub of the game, easy call, Quincy Matthews. Julian Decree, probably maybe a runner-up as well, 6 points.
I thought Daylor, too.
Yeah, Daylor, too, with his defense. There's a lot of guys that stepped up off the bench tonight.
Dub had
24
6
bench points.
Yeah, 24-9, and they outscored Biola. That bench came up big, and we talked about that in the pregame show. We talked about last week, 11 guys in the rotation tonight. Same thing. Juddy's going deep into the bench. He's trying to keep Simister fresh, and again, he played 31 minutes tonight. Trevor played 30, so still playing your stars a lot, but Kyler got a little bit less tonight, I think, because of the flu that's been going around southern Utah. But, man, you take a deep sigh of relief, and you love the grit of this team. And this one's going to feel good. You felt crappy all weekend through New Year, and to get this first win in January in 2018 at home, it's going to be big. Now you're going to focus in on a day of rest and practice before Friday's game against Dominican. Cal Baptist looming. That's a big one. They got some revenge, little payback after that game slipped away down there earlier in the season pre-Christmas. So this is a fun stretch for the Blazers and a very important homestand. You got to try to get the remaining 2 games and go 3-4 on your home floor, and then they'll still be right around the top of the standings in the Pac-West Conference heading out to the Bay Area for a 4-game road trip.
Let's take a look at some second-half highlights for you right here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Dixie State fighting hard to win this 70-69 here inside the Johnson Pediatric Postgame report. At least I thought we had some second-half highlights. Maybe we don't. So let's hold off on the highlights. If we get word that we do have them, we'll go back to my bad, jump the gun on those. But let's hand out some more awards. Stats Trucking Player of the Game tonight. Devin, you could go a number of ways with this one. The obvious one is Trevor Hill. Jumps off the page, 18 points, 6 of 13 from the field. Made his only 3-point attempt, 5 of 9 from the free throw line. 7 assists for Trevor as well tonight, and a couple of steals and a block as well, including the game-winning basket for Trevor. But you got 14 points from Zach Hunter, 11 points from Brandon Simister, and guys that did a lot of things, like you said, that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. But I think for me, that trucking player of the game has got to be Trevor Hill.
Yeah, I agree. Trevor put this team on his back. He was the aggressor. He got to the lane, and probably the play of the game as well. But with that blow-by with 10 seconds on the clock, I don't know where the help was on that. Everybody was kind of extended out and spread out. They spread the floor really well. And I don't know what that play was designed to be, but it never got to it because Trevor just took the ball and went, and they didn't stop ball.
He just audibled. He saw a seam, and he went. And that's why I like the play so much. And for me, maybe that's even – as we go on and name a Les Olson play of the game, there's the Zach Hunter and one
2
as
huge
well.
Simister free throws prior to that.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things that happen. But that Trevor Hill game-winning lay-in for me just shows that, a little lethargic maybe Saturday, or that's probably not the right word, but just trying to find a groove. And then even throughout the first half tonight, he put the team on his back in the second half, and the senior captain said, look, I'm not letting us win or lose tonight. And he made that play on his own, saw the seam win in, and made the layup.
Yeah, I agree. Trev Hill going to get a couple of awards. Appreciate Les Olson. And don't forget, you can enter their contest by posting your game day pictures with the hashtag Les Olson Fan. and then they got some Amazon gift cards and some other grand prizes. So check it out. I should have done that when I tweeted that breakaway dunk that Daylor got to steal. I forgot.
Yeah, throw that hashtag on there.
I forgot about that. So start using that hashtag, everybody. And nice win tonight. Nice win tonight. You look at the bench with the 24 points, huge. I love the 10 turnovers. I think pregame I said if you can keep it down around 12, you're going to be in good shape. They were below that. You love that. They had forced Biola into 15 turnovers in that game, and they were -6 in the rebounding department, but they out-rebounded the Eagles in the second half by 2. And so even though they lost overall, had 4 less boards, they did win in the second half, and you got to believe that was part of the halftime conversation was the defense and the rebounding. The defense was great. I mean, you held Biola to 69 points, and Dixie State, this is one of the lower offensive outpourings. I think they had a win earlier this season where they scored 69, if I'm not mistaken, pre-Christmas against UC San Diego. And they just barely get to the 70 mark, but you'll take it. You don't care. Even though the offense only shot 38% from the game, and even in the second half, just 32%, and the three-point shooting, 25%, just 3 of 12, really wasn't there tonight. You got the result you wanted, and that'll make the fans and Coach Judkins and the Trailblazer Nation very, very happy moving into Friday night's matchup.
And I know we've hit it a little bit already, but what really makes me smile, and Coach Judkins has got to be feeling a little bit of sigh of relief, is the fact that down the stretch, they made it happen. They closed the game out. This is a team that they fought back and took the lead, with the 15-0 run that stretched from the first half into the second half, took the lead at 45-43, and then Biola answered back. Boom, next thing you know, it's a 9-point lead for Biola again. The Trailblazers could have just packed it in.
Yeah.
They could have just packed it in and said, well, that's too bad. Maybe against Dominican on Friday. They did not. They showed that they would not give up, and they fought back and won that game. And I think it's very good, very exciting, and almost a little bit of a relief to see that fight that we know is there, but they were able to fight through and get the win at 70-69. We can take a quick look ahead as we wait for Coach Judkins to come out from the locker room, and it's Dominican on Friday, and a team that Dixie State has had some back and forth games with. Dominican not as good this season as maybe they have been, but Dominican on Friday, and you don't want to look past that game, but then the big one against California Baptist on Monday. But you got to get the one against Dominican on Friday before you can really look to the Lancers on Monday. You got to win these next 2 games, and like you said, win out, or maybe there's somewhere where there's one more loss that you can give if you want to compete and try to hang another Pac-West banner in this final season, this final go-round in the conference. Yeah,
and Dominican 2-2 in conference play. They picked up a win by a point over Notre Dame, Dana Muir, 67-66. They got a 7-point win over Fresno Pacific. But then they lost to Point Loma handily, 88-45, and then also dropped a game 68-62 to Holy Names. So they played a few less conference games. I don't know what they did tonight against Cal Baptist. I don't know if we have a score, but they could be coming in licking their wounds. The Lancers a good team, top of the conference there with the Azusa Pacific, and we'll see what happens tonight. That game not final just yet. I'm sure there's still somewhere in the second half.
Late in the second half, 3:43 to go as a final update. Live stats don't seem to be updating on the Stretch Internet side from Riverside, but we can hop on the Twitter machine. Jordan Heading knocks in a 3 for Cal Baptist. The Lancers lead at 79-57 with 3:43 remaining in the second half. Not too surprising there. So Dixie State, that's a great game. They can go back and look at that tape as much as they can. Only a couple of days before they play Dominican, but that's your next 2 opponents that you can watch right there on the court playing against each other. And Dominican, the game's on Friday night, so they got to turn around, hop on a bus, and drive up here tonight or tomorrow probably, and get ready for the game on Friday. But can't look past the Dominican game Friday. But as a reminder, as Coach Judkins makes his way across the floor, if you're still out there listening, Monday night is the blackout game. And you look at our social media, especially our Facebook, at Dixie State Athletics. You'll find some posts there where you can find a flyer that if you just even bring that on your phone and show the ticket people here on your phone, you're going to get 6 general admission tickets for your family. Wear black. It is a blackout. First 1,000 people here.
Get those tickets
you
free.
get the tickets free. First 1,000 people are going to get free T-shirts as well. As head coach John Judkins about to join us. The cord's all wrapped up here, but there we go. Now we've got it taken care of. Coach? Where's your sound here, Coach? Now we lost you there. Let's try that. The third headset we have here apparently is not working. There it is, right there. Now we can switch back. Now we can switch it back, Coach.
Our shot clock didn't work for a while.
There we go. And it was impressive how you jogged out and fixed that.
That's kind of a sad day that a coach has to go over and fix it. Well, we don't know anybody else to do things.
Well, I figured you just bumped it in the right spot because maybe you'd had that happen in practice.
The ball boys, well, again, we set everything up for practice. So the ball boys just hit the cord and it came loose. So it happened.
Good win tonight, Coach.
Yes. It was. Well, that is
not a pretty win.
The result was
win,
good.
Yeah, a win's a win. But like I told them guys, I said we should have won Saturday, and tonight we probably should have lost. They outplayed us. They outplayed us. We outplayed Point Loma. The thing that I was happy with it is our guys didn't quit. The second half we played a lot better. Our defense was more intense. Guys, we had 4 team fouls the first half. 4. How do you? And Zach had 2 out of the 4. It just tells me that we're soft. We're on our heels. We weren't being aggressive. We weren't trying to take things away. We started pressing. That's why I decided to press more early. The game was way early into it, but I started pressing and just to let them realize we got to pick up the tempo of the game and get after it. I thought Daylor did that, gave us a good spark. I thought Quincy came in and gave us a big spark. He was one who got player of the game for us. I don't like his foul shooting numbers, 1 for 4, but he gave us a big spark. But they didn't quit. They kept fighting. When there was a minute left, it was tied. I said, "Wow, isn't this funny how we work on things in practice?" And the only thing I don't want them to do that. I want to be ahead, but we prepared 1-minute games tied. We did that 3 times on Tuesday, just 1-minute tie game, down 1. We got to execute, and Trevor made a couple good moves right there and got it. We had a couple. The one Kai threw away tie game, man, it was there. He just threw it a little too far out, but it wasn't wide open. I said that's where you need to realize in a game situation when you got to get a good shot, you can't throw that. It's got to be wide open. In a normal game or during the 10 minutes left in the game, maybe you can do that. But again, I love how hard we battled. I wasn't happy with our rebounding, especially that last 2 possessions. 24 got one on Zach that we had a foul, and then number 2 gets a big one over Quincy. And I don't know how that ball didn't go in. It used every part of the rim it was. But again, if we rebound and block off, it doesn't happen. We don't have it. That doesn't get a shot off. And those are the fundamentals we talked about. You got to do fundamentals to win games. And that team we played tonight, that coach has been around for a long time, and he teaches fundamentals, and he does a great job of that.
Devin and I were wondering, just talking to the post game, and if you can remember, what was the call that the Trevor's game-winning layup? Obviously, wasn't the play call, but he saw Seaman went and took it.
Well,
what was the call on that last play?
We call it Kentucky, and what it is we get the ball to Trevor full court, and he just goes 100 miles an hour. And Zach, one of our bigs, stops at half court and sits a ball screen. And so we hope they switch it, because if they switch it, it's a big on a little, and that's what happened. So he gets that ball screen, they switch it. We got Simister in the corner in case their guy helps off Trevor, and we kick it to Sim for a shot. If they don't help, we also have we had Kyler on the other corner running down the other side. So Trevor's got options to get to the basket. He's got option to kick it to the right corner, to left corner, or he has a trailer, which was Zach Hunter. When he screens, he trails, so he has those options. And it's funny, we put that in. We've had that in, but we worked on it again on Tuesday just to show them that 7 seconds you can get a good shot. We had more than that. I think we had 12, didn't we? So
I think he made it with 10.7 or something on the clock.
Almost too fast, but again, you got to take what they give you. And so that part was good. And I thought our defense there at the end was good. We went to a little 2-2-1 soft token press. We switch everything. Kai did a great job switching on number 10, contested a 3. We just got to get that board. The game's over. But that little 10's a smart little player. I thought Trevor caused a little problem with him. I thought Daylor caused him a little bit of problem. Simister was having a little bit of tough time guarding him a little bit, and so that's why we put a bigger guy on him and make him shoot over a taller guy. But again, a good gutty win. We looked on some pressing. We did some good things that way I liked. But we got to do a better job of coming out ready to play. I don't think I think they looked at their schedule or looked at their roster, looked at their wins and thought, they haven't won a conference game. But we said right from the beginning, guys, these guys are fundamental and they play extremely, extremely hard. And if you let them hang around, then it's going to be a war, and that's kind of what happened. We could ask for a better game to start our game on Friday because the team we play on Friday is a lot like this team. They're just going to play hard and get after it, and we got to do a better job. But we'll take a win. Wasn't exactly how I kind of drew it up, but a win's a win, and we'll take it, and hopefully we'll get better from this game.
The turnovers a lot better tonight. You had 19 on Saturday. Tonight I think you had
11. 18 assists, 11 turnovers. Pretty good. And a couple of ones we had, man, the guy was wide open underneath the basket, and we throw it. He wasn't ready to catch it, and he drops it, And then we had the last one with Kai throwing it to Zach, led him a little too far. But again, turnovers happen, but if you're going to get a turnover going out of bounds, because that way they got to take it out, those kind of things. And he threw it a little too far, but man, it was open. And then Quincy was coming right behind him to set a ball screen, so it could have been either way. But that's something, again, we haven't been in a lot of those situations like that, and that's something we're going to work on.
You having fun with the lineups because you went small tonight?
Was, like I told you on the radio today, it's our bigs, they make it real easy for me because as soon as I see them not want to play, I'm going to go find somebody else. One thing about Dub that I love about him, I know what I'm going to get out of him. He's not the most athletic guy. He doesn't jump that well. He plays really hard. He's smart. He anticipates things really well. And I knew that if the bigs weren't going to play, Dub could do it. Dub could play the 5 in front of him and be physical with him, and that's what we did. So we went with him at the 5 and Zach at the 4 and just said use our quickness in front of the post, and we did some pretty good things. But, Austin, he's I don't know where he's been last couple of weeks. Julian can score on the block, but like I told you before, he's got to play defense. For him to play, he kind of relaxed a couple times. They got a drive on us, the shot clock running down, and then the guy hits a 3 trailer, and he's standing underneath the basket. So there's things like that that we got to get better with because we need those bigs. We challenge them every day to get better, and we need them to be physical. But that 24 and number 2, the way they were posting, that's what our guys got to do. Because I think we have better bigs. But, man, they post hard. They want the ball, and they'll get it. So good for Zach, good for Dub to come in and give us that. But we can't expect that every time. Those bigs got to pick it up and do a better job. And they will. We'll prepare them and do the things we have to do. It
looks like Quincy is starting to get back from whether knick-knack. It looked like you really trusted him down the stretch, left him in the game.
Well, he has that energy. Quincy's problem is sometimes he just gets out of control and has too much energy. And we always say, hey, let it come, relax. But tonight I needed that energy. I needed him to go do that, and he did a good job. But I thought he made a couple good passes. Driving that last one, I thought he might have got away with a charge right there. But he did a good job attacking and did some things. Make things happen. If you lose by trying and attacking. You don't lose by, I'm hoping I make the shot. You got to attack and do it. I got mad at Trevor a little bit in the second half. I said, hey, you got to attack. And he kind of was just dribbling the ball out there and not going anywhere. I said, you've got to drive and make 2 guys guard you and then kick, and that's something that he has to get better with. But again, it was a good win, good spark for a couple of guys. I thought, like I said, I thought Daylor did well. I thought Quincy did well. Sinister's offense was pretty good tonight. I thought he did a good job that way, but he's got to be better at the defensive end. He got beat a couple times full court. It's a guy, he's got to let go and run and get
on
ahead
that final
of that guy.
leak out. He slipped, and then they got the free throws out.
Well, he fell down. Oh, the leak out for the foul of the last.
Yeah.
Well, then we got an outlet over there by the student section. He fell down over there, and I said, dude, buy some new shoes. And he goes, that's the problem, Coach. These are new shoes. So when you wear new shoes, they're slippery, and you got to wear them in practice a few days to break them in. But that one was, I don't know what he's doing because we call it a 14 soft press, which means everybody, they let him catch it going towards our basket. Nobody goes deep. You just play back and let him throw it in front of you.
I saw you telling he was fronting him, and then you said get behind,
and then he did,
and then he looped anyway.
Took off. Yeah, then he took off. So it's something we got to learn, but we got to get smarter with that. And we first thought maybe it was a screen, and he thought he was going to switch, and then they did talk, but it wasn't. He just took off and got beat. And Brandon's smart. He's a smart kid, but he's got to trust. He's got to do the things that he should do and then trust his teammates. And sometimes I think he doesn't trust the teammates as well. And so then he's kind of like, should I go, should I not? When you do that, you're going to be in trouble. You got to trust each other and do it. But he's offensively, he's doing some really good things. He kept us in the game the first half, hitting those little pull-up jumpers on ball screens and did really well. And I like him being aggressive on the off. I see him finally starting to drive more instead of just shooting threes. And he's going. But we just got. And again, I saw late in the second half, he was hustling, keeping guys in front. So I know he can do it, but just got to do it the whole game and not just 5 minutes into it. But he had a good game too as well.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Now the homestand continues. Dominican on Friday. You hinted, a team that's a lot like the team we played tonight. And then the big blackout game on Monday against California Baptist. But can't look forward to that one quite yet. Talk about what this win means in terms of, after the game on Friday or Saturday and then on the show with Devin today, you're just talking about how frustrating it was to be in games down the stretch and not be able to finish them. And now this time it was your turn to be down a little bit and you finished. So what was the message when you went into them and you said, look, if you listen to us, if you play the way that we ask you to, good things will happen?
Well, that's what we talked about all week. We showed them those 4 games that we lost where the game was tied. The last 3 minutes of the game is tied, and we lost 4 games. So we showed them those last 3 minutes of each of those games and said, why are we losing? We're not getting stops, number one, and then we're not executing offensively. We're trying to do maybe a little too much by ourselves instead of playing together, and that's not us. And so we showed them that, and then we went out and did that on Tuesday in practice, and I think that really helped us. And hopefully this game like that rubs in, like you said, and they realize that, hey, they are right. We got to defend. We got to get stops, and then we got to go down and score. I thought, we got to the foul line again a lot tonight. We got there 26 times. They got there 12, which was good, but we only made 17 out of 29, which is still 65, not good enough. We need to be up in the high 70s. But we're getting to the foul line. We'll keep doing that. But I thought that was the key. Watching film, sometimes people learn different ways. They learn by showing on film, and they learn by actually doing it. And so we got to do both because we don't know what guy will learn different ways. And so I thought our film session was good on Tuesday, so I think that helped.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Go soak this one in and get ready for Dominican on Friday.
Will do. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Head coach John Judkins joining us in the Johnson Pediatric Postgame Report, and much better conversation with Coach tonight after the win versus a tough loss on Saturday against Point Loma. And I like what he said, that you are able to go to the guys and say, listen, if you do what we're preaching and do what we're talking about in practice, it will lead to wins, and you will be able to finish down the stretch.
Yeah, a little bit of a concern, though. I mean, you shot below 45%, and you lose to Point Loma. And tonight, even though you win, you only shoot 41% and only 25% from downtown. Don't know exactly where the offenses went, but just a little cold shooting these last 2 home games. But you got the result tonight. Love to see him score 85-90 and really get everybody, clicking on all cylinders. Would take a lot of confidence into that Cal Baptist game Monday. That would be, I'm sure, the recipe Coach Judkins would prefer to have.
It almost feels like this could be, a segue game, maybe something that almost had to happen to show the guys, we can do this, and you kind of bounce back with a hard-fought win after the tough loss on Saturday, and then you can piece things together over the next couple days and then put it all together on Friday. And like you said, hope you're able to score, between 80 and 90 points on Friday in that game against Dominican, and then be firing on all cylinders against California Baptist on Monday. I can guarantee you, as Coach talks about, the bigs, your Julian Decree, your Austin Montgomery, your Isaiah Clark, they will have to produce to beat California Baptist. At least we'll have to stay on the floor for defensive purposes, because Khalidou Diop, the best player in this conference, is coming in, and he's going to be wanting to do the same thing that he did in Riverside, and Dixie State will have to have an answer for him on Monday when they play California Baptist.
Yeah, you have to shoot him probably, because he's going to get some. He's going to get some. Try to limit him, and then obviously shoot a little bit better from the field. We do want to pass along a final score. Jazz fall tonight, 108-98 at home. Anthony Davis 29-15 to lead the Pelicans to the win. And for the Jazz, not the way they wanted to start the new year, although you did have a nice performance from Spider-Man Mitchell again, 24 points, albeit in a loss. 20 from Joe Johnson off the bench. So not everybody winning in Utah tonight, but Dixie State did, and that's was fun to be a part of. I do love the exciting close games, but I do enjoy a nice little blowout once in a while too.
I think we're about due for one, aren't we? I don't know how long I can handle these. Last year we had like 6 or 7 overtime games, like right off the bat, and this year we've got all these close games. And I even joke with the guys we're on the road too. I say, look, I'm all for an overtime thriller, game-winning shot, whatever it may be. But let's win by double digits tonight. Let's it doesn't have to be 20, but a nice solid 10, 15 point win. Do me a solid over here. But they'll continue to try to do that. And Dominican coming into town, no pushover like Coach Judkins hinted at, but a team that does play very similar to Biola, and they'll be able to just basically say it's kind of a rerun on Friday. This is what we didn't do. We can fix those things and put it all together on Friday. We're getting a check on Twitter here. Jeremiah Jensen, KSL sports anchor, getting Trevor Hill's game-winning shot out here on Twitter. We CEC doing a great job of getting the highlights loaded to the FTP. We got a great look at it right there. So Jeremiah Jensen giving the format out to high star Trevor Hill. A nice shout out. How about that? Dixie State getting the win 70-69. Trailblazers will be right back in action here Friday night, 7:30 p.m. tipper as soon as the 25 minutes after the conclusion of the women's game inside the Burns Arena. The Trailblazers win this one, now 7-6 overall, 4-2 in the Pac West. More importantly, could not afford to drop this one tonight. They come from behind, trailing by 9 with about 4 minutes to go, come from behind to get the win. We want to give a big shout out to Ken, our radio producer, getting us on the air, keeping us on the air all night long. And a big shout out to Lauren and Marcus and James and all the crew, CEC TV crew, for all they do to keep us on the air and putting together what I like to say, the best video production in all of Division II. Appreciate their hard work. For Devin Dixon, this is Carrick Sagmiller thanking you for listening. We'll see you on Friday night when Dominican is in town.